There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. There's just one place where a team is more than a group of individual agendas. It's a catalyst for demonstrating the potential of the collaborative spirit. There's just one place where players, coaches, and fans experience the exhilaration that happens when an entire community rallies behind the school team. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. In addition, the discipline and confidence they need to be leaders in life, even as they unite communities like nothing else. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Per game. That D-line for head coach J.B. Covington in his 15th year with the Panthers. It'll be at D-end, number 62, Chris Van Kooten, a 6'1", 230 senior, leading the team in sacks with 5 sacks this year. Number 71, Noah Van Kooten, the cousin of Chris Van Kooten. He's at nose guard at 6 tackles, 2 sacks so far this year. And the other D-end, number 64, Nate Tedford, a 6'2", 225 senior. Linebackers for Phillipsburg, Kirk Coombs, a 6'1", 215 senior. Kason Keaton, 5'10", 190 junior. Inside linebacker, John Gower, 6', 190 senior. Gower leads the team in tackles, 84 tackles. J.B. Covington and the whole team says Gower, he watches so much film. He just loves the game of football, and he gets into it so much, and a lot of heart and soul for John Gower, their inside linebacker, with 84 tackles so far this year. Outside linebacker, Jack Pockebeer, a 6'2", 180 senior. In the secondary for Peaburg, it'll be Trey Thompson at corner, Josh Linker, a senior, at free safety, Nathan Moon, the junior, at strong safety, and Trey Sides, the starting quarterback, will be corner as well on the starting defense. A 6'1", 160 junior as Phillipsburg takes to the field here at Elton Brown Field. Well, Hoisington sitting at 7-3 on the year. It is Phillipsburg sitting at 10-0 as we get ready for the national anthem here tonight. Head coach Zach Baird, Matt Kelch out there on the sideline right about the 35-yard line. Those two play against each other. There's a little bit of a rivalry. I know Kelch is all Cardinal right now, but he's from Phillipsburg. He played in that 2002 year. Zach Baird was a senior. Kelch was a sophomore. Those two went at it, and it was Zach Baird coming up empty on a 14-13 loss to Phillipsburg in the first round of the playoffs. So those two, they know about this Phillipsburg-Hoisington rivalry a little bit.
Yeah, and Coach Kelch knows about the tradition coming from Phillipsburg, a football town. You look at how many kids are out for football. I think every kid that walks the halls that is any kind of athlete is out for football. They have a huge roster that they bring into this game tonight.
All right, we'll take our final break of the pregame show. Come back with kickoff. Hoisington, Phillipsburg, second round of the Class 3A playoffs. It's Cardinal football on 100.7 Eagle Country.
When you think of your future, think Barton. When you think of career training, think Barton. When you think about completing your GED or getting specialized training for your business employees, think of Barton. Find out what drives you at Barton Community College.
Cardinal Lanes is proud to be a Cardinal. Stop by for open bowling Saturday 2 to 10 p.m. and Sunday from 1:30 to 7 p.m. with Sunday lane rental for only $10 per hour. Cardinal Lanes, 814 North Elm in Hoisington. Go Cardinals!
In addition to our savings and checking accounts, First Kansas Bank has many more services, including the latest technology. At First Kansas Bank, our strength is your security.
First Kansas Bank, Great Bend, Hayes, Hoisington, and Claflin. At Trading Time, team up with Marnie's. Find just what you're looking for. Get your best deal without the ordeal. Now with over 5 decades of service to Central and Western Kansas, business is good, repeat sales are up, and customers are satisfied. Marnie Ford, Lincoln, and Marnie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Great Bend. See us today.
The Hoisington Dairy Queen now has the $5, $6 lunch all day. Get 3 chicken strips or a deluxe cheeseburger for $5. Get a crispy chicken sandwich or 1/3 double with cheese for $6. Comes with fries, drink, and a sundae. Or upgrade your sundae to a blizzard for just $1 at the Hoisington Dairy Queen.
You're familiar with the phrase, beef. It's what's for dinner. America's taste for beef continues to grow, and much of that nutritious product is produced right here in our local community. Innovative livestock services, Ward Feed Yard, Great Bend Feeding, and Barton County Feeders wish all area schools the very best.
Ever wonder why some wireless carriers charge so much more than others? At Nextech Wireless, you receive nationwide coverage, 4G LTE data, and unlimited data, but we don't overcharge you. Say goodbye to your carrier, and hello to Nextech Wireless.
Cardinal Pharmacy is your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy and a proud supporter of the Hoisington Cardinals. At Health Mart Pharmacy, they take time to get to know you and answer any questions you may have. Caring for you and about you. Cardinal Pharmacy. Go get them, Cardinals.
Back at Elton Brown Field on a Saturday afternoon as we work our way into the evening as the captains take to the field. Hoisington hosting the Phillipsburg Panthers. Just the third time that these two teams have met up in the playoffs. Hoisington has 1-1 against the Panthers. They met up in 2009. And it was the Hoisington Cardinals able to win that ball game 35-6. That was here in Hoisington. The other matchup back in 2002, we mentioned that was the Kelch versus Baird matchup, as it was Phillipsburg winning that one 4-13. So the third meeting between these two clubs in Hoisington. All three of them have been here at Elton Brown Field, and they have split. So this is the rubber match here in 2017. Now, they have met up in the regular season since those playoff games. In 2013, they met up in Week 5. Phillipsburg won that ball game at 33-6. Nolan McCurry, he had a big rushing game for the Hoisington Cardinals, but Riley Juneman and the Panthers came in, and they ended up winning that one 33-6. Then in 2012, it was Hoisington losing 27-6 against the Panthers. That was the Hagen-Hanslick show back in those times, but Hoisington had 4 turnovers in that contest. So Phillipsburg has won the last 2 meetings in the regular season coming into this matchup, but a lot more importance this Saturday evening as we're in the second round of the Class 3A playoffs. Hoisington won the coin toss. They have deferred. It'll be Phillipsburg receiving the football to begin tonight's ball game, and Hoisington fans, they just have a knack of knowing when to show up. Blake, we were looking down at the stadium, and it was fairly halfway empty about 5 minutes ago. They know when kickoff is, and now it's starting to fill up.
Yeah, it's starting to get everyone looking for a seat. And the Cardinals' defense on the field to start out the game, real key sequence. I'll be watching to see how our front seven handles this terrific offensive line for the Panthers.
Well, the Hoisington defense against Cimarron last Tuesday night gave up only 204 yards of total offense, 147 on the ground, 57 through the air, only gave up 11 first downs, were great on third down against the Blue Jays, holding them to 3 of 15, and Hoisington also picked up 2 turnovers in that contest. You look at Phillipsburg averaging 53 points per game. They scored 81 back in Week 7 against the TMP Monarchs, winning that ball game 81-33, and it has just been blowout city for Phillipsburg so far in the year.
Yeah, that game against Cimarron, except for I think they had negative yards going into the third quarter, if I remember right, as the Cardinal defense, and then Coach Baird, as he does, he was playing everyone on the team, and Cimarron kept their first string in there till the end of the game. Seniors getting their last game. They scored some yards and points late, but here we go.
We're ready to go at Elton Brown Field on a Saturday, second round of the Class 3A playoffs. Braxton Donovan lines it up for the Cardinals, and it'll be a placement kick and a fair catch called for over on the left side, and then he runs. Matt Kelch is upset. He called for the fair catch at the 35-yard line, then he took off running. And Zach Baird's out on the sideline as well. He can't believe it. The returner taken up to about the 40-yard line. He should be back near the 33.
Well, he waved his hands like a fair catch. We can't be missing stuff like this tonight. That was pretty obvious to everyone.
Well, Zach is starting to cool off a little bit, but he called for that fair catch at the 33-yard line, and then he took it up to the 40. They let him go, so it'll be Phillipsburg football at the 40-yard line to start out tonight's ball game. Big O offensive line, and there for the Panthers, and it's that pistol flexbone look for Trey Sides in Phillipsburg, and Kirk Coombs bruises his way up across the 40, but Hoisington stacks him up for a 3-yard gain. Kirk Coombs averaging, well, he's at 948 yards rushing so far in the season, averaging just 95 yards. This is one of the feature backs in the state, under 1,000 yards, but they've had so many blowout wins, he hasn't really needed to run that much.
Yeah, 3-yard gain on first play. Great action in the trenches right now between these two teams.
2nd and 7, Trey Sides again out of that gun. It gives the handoff. This time goes to Gross over on the left side, working the sideline, and finally Hoisington decks him out near the 47, as there'll be a pickup of about 4 yards for Traylon Gross, a 6', 200-pound junior, as he's averaging 83 yards per game.
Yeah, line surge has given them about 4 yards per carry on this drive, brings up 3rd and 3. At the Phillipsburg 47.
Sides can throw it. He is averaging 76 yards through the air so far on the season. Here's 3rd and 3 at their own 47-yard line. 2 wide receivers set for the Phillipsburg Panthers in the white and navy blue. They go to the ground game, and he's going to be stacked up and hit at the line of scrimmage. Hoisington brings him down. Jason Bradley got him down low. No gain on the play for their fullback, John Gower. 4th and 2 coming up for Peaburg.
Yeah, and you wonder what they're going to do at midfield. How many times have they had a 4th and 2 on their first series? But you'd imagine, as confident as this team is, they're coming out there going for it. Big play.
Big play early on, 4th and 2. We'll see if they can. Well, Trey Sides is also their punter. He scoots back a little bit, and now we're going to get a flag coming out. It's just going to be a false start going against the Phillipsburg Panthers. So they showed that they were going to go for it. Trey Sides, also their punter, then took 5 yards back and was ready to pooch kick this one away. But instead, a false start, first penalty ball game going against the Panthers. That'll scoot the football back close to the 41-yard line. 10:46 to go here in the first, scoreless, as Peaburg is held to a 3-and-out on their opening drive.
Well, first series, this Cardinal defense hit him in the mouth. How many times has that happened?
He doesn't line up very deep to punt this one away as Gerhardt makes his way and lets this one bounce down at the 20-yard line, then just gets out of the way as Trey Thompson was coming down the middle and ready to lay a boom on Rudy Gerhardt. So a very good placement on that punt for Trey Sides as it finally comes to a stop at the 13-yard line. Hoisington's D, though, they force a 3-and-out on Phillipsburg's opening possession. The Cardinals get the football at their own 13 with 10:25 to go in the first quarter.
You know, you look at this Phillipsburg team, and again, you know, is that a shock to them not being able to get a first down first time they touch the ball?
So here comes the freshman quarterback, Mason Haxton, goes under center. Jason Bradley, Riley Filburn, Chandler Blackwell, Eric Barrett, and Jared Curtis all on that starting offensive line. Sean Urban, who's been on a tear over the last 4 games, takes it out to the 15-yard line before he is met by the white and navy blue of the Phillipsburg Panthers. It'll be a gain of 2 for Sean Urban. His last 4 games, averaging 219 yards rushing.
Well, as this flex bone works, you pound the middle. Good line charge by the offensive line gives us 3 yards on first down.
Xavier Robinson will line up as a wide receiver on 2nd and 7 at their own 16-yard line. Cardinals all red look for this second-round playoff game against Phillipsburg. Under 10 minutes to go, first quarter. Short toss goes up in the middle again. Sean Urban stretches out as he tries to get close to the 20. He'll be denied the 20 down at the 18-yard line. Only a 2-yard gain for Sean Urban. So back-to-back carries for the senior, 3 and 2 yards, setting up 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5 coming up here in Phillipsburg. If we have one wide receiver out, they have everyone else within 7 yards of the line of scrimmage, maybe 5 yards. So they're stacking against our flexbone offense. A lot of teams try to do that.
Phillipsburg only giving up 82 yards per rushing per game. On 3rd and short, Sean Urban works the right side, stretches out. He is going to be close to first down out near the 23. He picks up about 4, almost 4.5, and it'll depend on the spot, and it looks to be about maybe a half-yard short for Sean Urban. He is going to be very, very close out near the 23.
Well, neither team made a first down, but if you're keeping score, the Cardinals made more yards on their series than Phillipsburg did. But we're punting deep in our own territory. We have a little field position swap here probably as the Cardinals prepare to punt.
So Dante Urban comes out fourth and less than a yard, but you're at your own 17. That'd be a dangerous call this early in the ball game. Urban will punt this one away. A low spiral punt, gets it away from the returners as it comes down at the 50-yard line into Phillipsburg territory as Tanner Cassidy, Xavier Robinson will finally let it come to a stop at the 41-yard line. A good punt by Dante Urban as he gets Phillipsburg back in their own territory. 8:20 to go in the first quarter. Two defensive just teams that have been very physical over the last decade going at it with 3 and outs on the opening possessions for both clubs.
Yeah, about the same field position they had last time. Weren't able to get a first down. Let's see what happens on this series. They do like to throw the ball if they want to open up their running game.
John Gower, the fullback, on the right hip of Trey Sides, the junior quarterback, a 3-year starter. 4 down linemen here for the Cardinals on the 1st and 10 play. Option play, Sides was wrapped up by Curtis and sneaks out of that tackle and makes his way out to the 44-yard line. Curtis had him for a loss of about 2 yards in the backfield. Instead, Sides able to slip through the tackle of Jared Curtis and picks up 3 yards.
Yeah, Curtis sniped through there and had him good elusiveness by the quarterback as he got through and made a little over 2 yards, brings up 2nd and 8.
Well, Trey Sides averaging about 20 yards rushing per game, but he can run the ball, but they've been so efficient with their other guys. Play action on 2nd and 7. Pump fake, goes to the left side, rolls out of the pocket, all sorts of time right now, zips it to the sideline, caught at the 41-yard line, and then hit out of bounds. It'll be a 13-yard reception, make it a 17-yard reception out to the 40-yard line as he finds his main target. Trey Thompson leads the team in receptions, his 15th on the year.
Yeah, great play by the quarterback, and the wide receiver saw his quarterback in trouble. It was going to be a pocket pass, but he gets flushed out of the pocket. Looked like some holding going on the offensive line. Coach Baird's talking to the White Hat about it. We'll see what happens now. 1st and 10.
First down of the ball game for either club at the Hoisington 40-yard line. It's going to be an end around. Gower, he's met by Kirk Reisner at the 40-yard line. Takes him for about another 1 or 2 yards out to the 38. It'll be a gain of 2 yards for John Gower, averaging 59 yards per game as 92nd carry so far this year as he has rushed for nearly 600 yards.
Wingback goes in motion to the left side. The quarterback takes the snap, fakes the pitch, and gives it back underneath to their wingback coming the other way, and the Cardinal Reisner there for the tackle.
Well, it's going to be an official timeout as their left tackle, Chris Van Kooten, will jog his way over to the sideline. I don't know if he had an equipment issue or what, as they look at that face mask as he'll get his replacement coming in. Official says, let's go. 7:14 to go first quarter and counting. 0-0 ball game, but the Panthers in Hoisington territory at the 38-yard line. Stack formation over to the right side. 2 running backs behind Trey Sides at quarterback. Takes a snap, turns around, play action. Rolls out left side. Jared Curtis giving chase. Big running lane. He threw it. Looked like he threw it over the line of scrimmage. Uncontested. And Braxton Donovan knocks it away. Ooh, it was close. Trey Sides nearly threw it past the line of scrimmage as he got rid of the ball right at the 38-yard line, but they're going to call incomplete pass, setting up 3rd and 8.
Yeah, unfortunately, he threw that ball. The Cardinals had it well covered. If he had a run, he had had a first down. He's out there. He's real quick to the outside as it was a rollout pass all the way. Looking downfield, he spied his receiver, but if he looked in front of him, there's a lot of green, so the Cardinals got to be aware.
Well, Phillipsburg just their second drive of the opening quarter. 0 for 1 on 3rd down. Here's 3rd and 8. Sides fakes to the first guy through. Goes to Kirk Coombs, and Hoisington is all over it. Big old Riley Phillipsburg gobbles him up for a short gain on 3rd and 8. He'll pick up maybe a yard and a half, and an excellent job by Riley Phillipsburg. He just keeps getting better and better. Just a sophomore for Hoisington.
Yeah, the Cardinals 3-man front really contesting well in the trenches as that's old-time power football. Fake to one guy right behind it, give it to the next ball carrier going through the line, and Riley Phillipsburg just checked his blocker and made the play.
Cardinals showing strong right now as Phillipsburg shows that they'll go for it on 4th and 7 at the Hoisington 37-yard line. They go for it. Option play, Sides, works the left side. Braxton Donovan trying to chase him down, push him out of bounds, but he stretches forward for the first. Big-time run by Trey Sides. The score is running, only 32 carries coming into tonight's matchup, but the quarterback gets it done on 4th and 7. Make it 4th and 6. They convert out to the Hoisington 29.
Well, you know, the coaches in the booth on that last pass play saw the same thing I did. Roll out to the left. You have to respect the pass, and he just rolled out the whole way. He is looking to run, saw the green. The Cardinals couldn't get him before the first down.
6:08 to go first quarter, 0-0 ball game, but another big first down here for Phillipsburg now at the Hoisington 29. Out of that pistol flex bone, end around goes to Kirk Coombs, left side. Hoisington had him in the backfield, but it's Eric Barrett not able to wrap up, saying that the football came out late on that play, and there's no signal that Hoisington has recovered the football, and it looks like it'll stay with the Phillipsburg Panthers. No gain on the play as Hoisington all their leading back, Kirk Coombs, so far here tonight.
Yeah, the Cardinals really playing well with their front seven. The safeties, cornerbacks coming in to help with the tackle. We missed one tackle, but right there were 3 or 4 more Cardinals to bring him down.
Phillipsburg making their 5th straight state appearance. The state title a couple of years ago in Class 2A. Here in the second round, 3A. Short toss, Coombs, right side this time, kicks it back up to the hash, and then Wyatt Pettigo holds on and takes him out to the 20-yard line. It'll be close to an 8-yard gain for Kirk Coombs after losing a half yard on the last play. He picks up 8 this time, setting up 3rd and 2 with 5:14 to go in our first quarter.
Yeah, that time it was just student body right as they gave it to the running back with a lot of blockers out in front. Good blocks all the way. Gives him up to the 22-yard line. He has to get to the 19 for a first down.
Cardinals came up with the stop on the last possession for Phillipsburg's offense. 3rd and 2 is going to go to Kirk Coombs again, left side this time, and he'll plunge forward for a first down as he is near the 21-yard line. So not a whole lot there, actually the 17-yard line, so it'll be a gain of 4 yards for Kirk Coombs. It's 1st and 10, the 3rd first down of the drive for the Panthers.
Yeah, and one of them came on a 4th and 9 on the quarterback rollout, so they're in business now at the Cardinal 16-yard line, 1st and 10.
4:42 to go, opening quarter, scoreless game in this second-round playoff contest in Hoisington. Handoff goes to Gowan, the fullback, as he bounces off one defender at the 15-yard line and then falls forward close to the 12. Almost a 4-yard gain for John Gowan, almost a 5-yard pickup. Gowan has 10 rushing touchdowns so far this year and takes the Panthers out to the 12.
Coach Baird talking to the white hat again. I don't know what he's been talking to him about, but that seems to be a good conversation. No one hot yet, but 2nd and 6 for the Phillipsburg Panthers.
At the 12-yard line in a scoreless game. Side, short toss goes out to Gross, goes out to the sideline, cuts it back in, and then Braxton Donovan put a push on him at the 10-yard line, hits him down at the 9. It'll be a 3-yard gain for Traylon Gross, 6', 200-pound junior, often the 3rd and 4th option in this offense. It'll be 3rd and 3 coming up for Phillipsburg.
Well, this offense is kind of chugging along right now. 3 and 4 yards at a whack brings up 3rd and 3, and at this place on the field means 2 downs to get 3 yards.
Well, Phillipsburg 0 for 2 on 3rd down, but they're 1 for 1 on 4th down. They have 3rd and 3 at the Hoisington 9. That pistol flex bone look for Trey Sides. Fakes the first guy. Second guy throws through. Kirk Coombs spins off a man at the 5-yard line and is brought down close to the 2. He'll have the first down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Phillipsburg Panthers on their second drive of the ball game. In business right now at the Cardinals 2.
Well, it's 6'1", 215 pounds. He runs hard as he got the ball, covering it up as he went through the line, had a little crease, and when the contact was coming, he lowered his shoulder and lowered the boom. We have 1st and goal.
So see if Hoisington can tighten things up, only 2 yards away from the end zone. Sides, making sure everyone is set up correctly. Gowan is just to the left of him. Long cadence this time. Gowan gets the call. Hoisington blitzes in, gets him around the ankles, but Gowan may have fell a little bit closer to that goal line. Great job by Jared Curtis. Leads the team in tackles for loss. Got him in the backfield, but got him around the ankles. He falls forward to the 1.
Yeah, contact was made about 1.5 yards back behind that, but as the contact was made, he spun to his backside and kind of kept going and got it down to within 1 yard.
Two wide receivers set on 2nd and goal at the 1.5-yard line. It'll be Gowan once again, sides, pulls it out of the belly, then he rolls around the left side and into the end zone. Touchdown, Phillipsburg. He faked the handoff to Gowan, and then Trey Sides, who has been the difference maker so far in the first 2 drives for Phillipsburg, has the first touchdown here tonight. Panthers on top 6-0 with 2:31 to go in the first quarter.
Well, you know, you get that close to the goal line. They've been pounding us in the middle. A great fake that time. You could see the way the Cardinals converged on the guy he faked to, pulled it out, went in untouched. 2:31 left in the first quarter. Phillipsburg Panthers strike first.
Panthers have one of the better kickers in the state of Kansas, John Honeycutt. He comes on for the extra points, and he drills this one through for a 7-0 lead. John Honeycutt, a 5'10", 185 junior, as he is now 64 of 72 on extra point attempts so far this year, just under 90% conversion rate on that one for Honeycutt. 7-0 lead, Phillipsburg, 2:31 to go first quarter. Back in 30 seconds on 100.7 Eagle Country.
USD 431 Hoisington is proud to sponsor this broadcast of Hoisington Cardinal Sports. USD 431 Hoisington encourages fans, athletes, coaches, and spectators to demonstrate good sportsmanship throughout the competition. Go Cardinals!
Superior Essex and Hoisington would like to wish the Hoisington Cardinals a successful sports season. Superior Essex is committed to the protection of the environment and the health and safety of its employees, customers, and neighbors. Superior Essex says, go Cardinals!
Sides has his 5th rushing touchdown of the season, and the Phillipsburg Panthers on top 7-0 with 2:31 to go in the first quarter. Both teams going 3 and out on their opening possession, but then the Panthers, that last drive, Blake, pretty good. They picked up 4 first downs on their way to a 2-yard run by Sides.
Yeah, it was a 14-play drive. They earned every yard of it. A lot of hitting going on out there. 6-minute drive as they convert that kicker. I mean, he put it clear over the track. I mean, if a field goal is going to come, if it's coming down to a field goal, they have a weapon.
Yeah, John Honeycutt, his longest field goal so far this year is 39 yards. He's 7 of 8 field goals, and their kickoff booms this one out to the goal line. Gerhardt catches at the 2, drops it, and now picks it back up. Runs left side to the 15-yard line, cuts it back out to the 20, then he's rolled over near the 22-yard line. So Rudy Gerhardt, a 20-yard return after dropping it at the 2-yard line. Hoisington will start out their second possession of the ball game at their own 22 with 2:24 to go in the first quarter, down 7-0.
Yeah, that was a nice run by Rudy. We had a block that he cut off of, and the player that was blocked bounced off that block and made the tackle. So a great open field tackle where Rudy might have had another 20, 30 yards.
Phillipsburg has 3 shutouts on the season for this talented defense. Toss play out to Wyatt Pettigo. His first touch here tonight. Cuts it back up before he's met by a couple of white and a gold jerseys. And leading the pursuits there for Phillipsburg is going to be John Gower once again. And then Jordan Ford is into the ball game as well as a linebacker as he comes up with a hit as well. It'll be a 2-yard gain for Pettigo.
Yeah, it was a nice play to start out with. Good block on the outside corner coming in just like you want it. And as he cut upfield, the rest of the Phillipsburg Panther defense was right there to meet him. So great team pursuit that time by this Panther defense.
Hoisington's 325 yards against Cimarron Tuesday night, all on the ground. They have yet to take a pass attempt here tonight. Urban goes in motion from the wingback position, works the right side, and gets out to the 30-yard line. Biggest run so far here tonight for the Hoisington Cardinals, as they'll gain almost 6 yards out to the 30-yard line. They'll be about 1.5 yards short of that first down.
Yeah, it was a kind of developing play for this time. It's a lot quicker as we faked to the wingback going a little wider and then gave it to Urban underneath over right tackle. Great hole there, and he was able to lower his head and almost get a first down, 3rd and a yard.
Cardinals 0 for 1 on 3rd down here in the opening quarter. 1 minute left. Phillipsburg on top 7-0. They stick with the run up the middle, and he got folded over at the 32. They didn't need much, and it looks like he will get the first down as a late flag comes out on this play as Sean Urban had that carry as they were trying to pull the ball out of Sean Urban's arms, and we'll see which way this goes against. It looks like it's going to be a late hit or an unsportsmanlike penalty against Phillipsburg, but we'll see what it is. And it is an unsportsmanlike penalty going against the Phillipsburg Panthers. Urban had the first down out to the 32, but tack on 15 more yards.
Yeah, it was a big play as the play was well over, whistle had blown, and they still were fighting for the football. And I think that's why they called the penalty. just too much going on after the whistle had blown, but that gives the Cardinals did have their first down on that just straight power play over the left side by about a half a yard, but that gives us 15 more yards, gets us out to the 47.
Hoisington has won 6 straight home playoff games. They haven't lost at home in the playoffs since 2008. They have 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line. Toss play, Gerhardt right side, cuts at the 45. A flag comes out before Gerhardt is just decked by Trey Thompson in the backfield. Right now, a loss of a half a yard, and a penalty might be going against the Cardinals for the first time here tonight.
Yeah, where it was thrown at the snap of the ball, usually that's holding. We'll see. Legal procedure.
And I'll take that over the holding penalty. So first penalty going against Hoisington will cost him 5 yards. Zach Barrett is out near the hash marks right now trying to get a different explanation. 2 penalties so far on Phillipsburg has cost them 20 yards here tonight. As Hoisington, as of now, with their first penalty. 7-0 lead for the Phillipsburg Panthers. 46 seconds left in the first quarter. Zach Barrett is still yelling out from the hash mark right now, but still not exactly sure what angle he's going for on this penalty that was going against the Cards.
Yeah, I'm not either. I didn't see movement. Did you see movement?
I didn't see it, but Zach, I think you might be disappointed that there was nothing called earlier, that they didn't whistle that one dead before the play was after, and then his guy took a shot, Rudy Gerhardt, on his first carry, losing a half yard. Now he lost a half yard, so Phillipsburg declines the penalty. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Yeah, kind of interesting, but I can see their point as that last spread play to the trying to get it wide. The Panther defense really good in pursuit.
Urban has the fullback here on 2nd and 11 at their own 46-yard line. Pedigo goes in motion. Haxton hands off to Sean Urban. Big hole to the 50, and then gets hit over at the 45-yard line. Sean Urban will be 2 yards short of the first down. Biggest run of the night, though, for the Cardinals as Urban goes for 9.
Well, one thing about crowding the box like they do, they have one safety who is 7 yards off the ball. The rest of them are within 5 yards of the ball. If you find a crease, that means you're getting by a lot of the defenders going through the line of scrimmage. That's what happened that time. Great blocking along the line of scrimmage, and Urban had his patented quick acceleration.
Well, Hoisington will let the clock go down to zeros here in the first quarter on a 9-yard run by Urban. They have 3rd and 2 in Phillipsburg territory for the first time so far here tonight. The Panthers on top 7-0 in the second round of the Class 3A playoffs. Back in a minute on 100.7 Eagle.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Kansas. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Tyler Schremer recommends getting your eyesight checked annually so you can enjoy life to the fullest. Dr. Tyler Schremer in Hoisington.
Well, Dr. Blake Harris mentioned at the top of the broadcast that CKL kind of took it on the chin a little bit last night in 4A Division II. Nickerson losing by 1 point. And also Kingman losing to Scott City. Larned goes down this afternoon, and they teed off at about 3 o'clock this afternoon. End up losing to Marysville 36-28. 3rd and 2 at the Phillipsburg 45-yard line, and this running play going nowhere. A few inches before Phillipsburg just swarms Sean Urban on 3rd and 2. He gains about a couple inches across the 45-yard line, setting up 4th down.
Yeah, they're in a run blitz, and they blitzed in the right crease that time as we fake going wide and then backside handoff to Urban going the other direction. And when that happened, that crease that we usually have was filled by blitzing linebackers. So the Cardinals at 4th and a yard, a strong yard on Phillipsburg's side of the field at the 45 are going for it.
Just getting started in the second quarter. Phillipsburg on top 7-0. Hoisington and they will go for, but first a timeout taken by the Cardinals. 4th and 1 at the Phillipsburg 45-yard line. You know offense is going to be tough right now. You got to get this place just right with 4th and 1 at the 45, down 7-0. Cardinals in a battle right now against the Phillipsburg Panthers. Like we mentioned, have had a lot of blowouts so far this year. Week 1, they knocked off Clay Center, the team that knocked off Nickerson just last night in 4A Division II. Phillipsburg beat that team 54-8. Knocked off Smith Center in Week 2, 23-0. Shutout win against Plainville in Week 3. No harm done against Oakley in Week 4, winning 68-6. Beat Ellis 69-13. One of their closest games, their second closest game, came against the Larned Indians. That was at Larned in that crazy Week 6 weather game. They won that contest 34-6 after a number of delays. And then TMP, they put up 81 points, defeating the Monarchs 81-33, 56-0 against the Norton Blue Jays in Week 8, 56-6 against Russell, and then last Tuesday against Riley County, winning 48-13. So competition hasn't been real high for the Panthers so far this year.
No, and we're competing right now. This is a big 4th and 2. They had a 4th and 10 about this same place on the field when they went in to score, so big play coming up.
Blake mentioned a big play at the 45-yard line of 4th and 1. Haxon turns around, Sean Urban right side, spins for the first down and then stretches it out, and then the pile moves him back, but Sean Urban, the spin move and the stretch will pick up the first on 4th and 1 as he takes it out to the Phillipsburg 37-yard line on a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, that was great line surge that time. He had the first down on the surge of the offensive line. Not much by much, but maybe a yard and a half to get across the sticks, and then his spin and stretch got another yard and a half. So Cardinals 1st and 10 at the Panther 42.
Just the second first down of the ball game for Hoisington, down 7-0, 1 minute into our second quarter. Now at the Phillipsburg 42, toss play, Gerhardt trying to find a seam, and then he is up into that, the 40-yard line, and a good tackle coming in by John Gower on the initial hits, and then Rudy Gerhardt picks up about 2 yards.
Yeah, this defense for the Panthers is the real deal. Really flow to the ball. If a little space, get by where we want to go off the handoff, the rest of the Panther team is in pursuit. So 2nd and 8 coming up at the 40.
Trent Herrick is in the ball game right now as a linebacker for the Phillipsburg Panthers as the Cardinals have it at the 40-yard line. End around starts right, then he got held up by his own player, then Rudy Gerhardt is just drilled in the backfield. A couple of Panthers coming in on the surge. Leading the way was their linebacker, Kason Keaton, a 5'10", 190 junior, has 62 tackles on the year. That's second on the team, and he hits Gerhardt at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they had the whole thing covered that time. They were assignment sound, as you have to be with this flexbone offense, as the Cardinals faked going one way, came back with Gerhardt, but there was nowhere to go.
So a 3rd down coming up for Hoisington, but this one's long. 3rd and 8 at the Phillipsburg 40-yard line. Pedigo starts in motion. Sean Urban, the fullback, getting tugged on the jersey across the 35-yard line, and he'll take it out to the 34. Good run by Sean Urban. He'll pick up 6 yards, but maybe in 4-down territory here for the Cardinals, setting up 4th and 3.
Yeah, absolutely. You can tell they've watched a lot of film of this Cardinal football team because they don't give up on Sean Urban. Someone had him by the jersey, kind of tugged him back a little bit, just enough to let the Panther pursuit come and bring him down. Nice gain on the play. Big play coming up, 4th and, 3?
4th and 3 at the 35-yard line as Hoisington will send out a wide receiver to the near side. They're right in the middle of the field going left to right here in Cardinal or Phillipsburg territory. Hoisington 1 and offside, so get a first down to the 30. Hand off Sean Urban, stiff arm to the 25. Has a blocker in front of him at the 10 to the 5. Stretches out to the pylon, and he is in. They're going to mark him out of bounds at the 1-yard line. The pylon, the white hat has a touchdown. The guy in the corner has it down at the 1-yard line. No signal yet. The white hat signaled touchdown. You saw the pylon go down. Touchdown, Hoisington. Sean Urban, a 35-yard run. Cardinals 1 point away from tying this one up against one of the top teams in the state with 8-5.
Now put Pedigo in motion from the right side to the left side. Give to Urban going over the right side. And, boy, he had a great crease. Had that great acceleration. Broke a tackle, put a move on, and then he had a convoy in the name of who was it? 21, Rudy Gerhardt, who made a great block, and Urban just was not to be denied.
Hoisington will go for 2, trying to get the lead. They put it at the 3-yard line. Haxton under center. He drops the football, and Sean Urban picks it up, and Hoisington will not be able to convert. I don't know if that was a mistimed play there, but it didn't look like Urban knew he was getting the football, and Mason Haxton trying to give it off to the senior, and Hoisington will be unable to convert on the two-point conversion. But a 35-yard run, the biggest play for either team here tonight, has the Cardinals within one. Phillipsburg 7, Hoisington 6, 8:52 to go for second quarter, back in 30 seconds on 100.7 Eagle Country.
When it comes to headaches and back pain, there is help. Dr. Chad Beck with Beck Chiropractic is there when you need relief from life's aches and pains. Beck Chiropractic for all your health, wellness, and nutritional needs. Dr. Chad Beck, proud supporter of Cardinal Sports.
This is Jan from Fuller Industries, and we are proud to help sponsor this sports broadcast. For over 100 years, Fuller Industries has provided single-source solutions for your cleaning needs. Fuller Industries reminds you to help your neighbor and shop local.
Tonight's game brought to you by Kathy Burke, State Farm Insurance, Manweiler Chevrolet, providing transportation for our road games, First Kansas Bank, Donald E. Rive Jr., attorney at law, and Innovative Livestock Services. Hoisington on the board against the second-ranked team in the state in Class 3A. It's the Cardinals trailing by 1, 7-6, with 8:52 to go in the second quarter. But as you're kind of talking about, Blake, just kind of a sigh of relief right now. You're on the scoreboard.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about it earlier, the way they crowd the box. If you can call the right play and get the crease, particularly if Sean Urban's running the ball, you have something going, and you get him out in space. And Phillipsburg saw what it is to bring down Sean Urban in space. He broke a tackle, juked, and made a guy miss.
Here's Braxton Donovan, another end-over-end kick at the 30-yard line on a run, picked up by Thompson at the 35. Then Hoisington meets him at the 34-yard line and drops him. Only a 4-yard return for Trey Thompson as he takes it out near the 33-yard line. 8:46 to go, second quarter. Phillipsburg 7, Hoisington at 6. As some of the other scores across the state, a lot of games getting started earlier. Larned losing earlier this afternoon at home against Marysville, 36-28. How about Cheney just blowing the doors off of Marion, 56-0. And in the second quarter is 28-7 Osage City on top of Caney Valley. Winner here tonight will take on either Conway Springs or Heston. That game doesn't kick off until 7 o'clock. That flex bone option look here for Phillipsburg out of the shotgun. It'll be a short toss out to Coombs, and he is met at the right side. Jared Curtis wraps him up and then brings him down, and then another Hoisington Cardinal is over there, and we'll get that number, Eric Barretts. He hits him at the line of scrimmage. No gain. They have lost a half yard.
Yeah, he's shows what kind of running back he is, too, because we stood him up at the line of scrimmage, and he spun, kept churning, but the Cardinals came and brought him down for a short loss on the play of a half yard.
Coombs now closing in on 1,000 yards rushing so far on the year. Gowan lined up behind sides, gets the football right side, just surges through, look out. First down to the 50-yard line. Barrett catches him from behind into Hoisington territory at the 44-yard line. Big run, biggest of the ball game so far for Phillipsburg as they take it down to the Cardinal 44.
Yeah, started everything going to the left side. Misdirection play over the start on the left, go over the right, and the Cardinal pursuit just outran that play. They forgot their gaps, and he had some running room right up the gut.
22-yard run for John Gowan. Has him at the Hoisington 44-yard line, just under 8 minutes to go. Cardinals down by 1. Handoff Coombs, left side. He has a hole to the 40. Cuts it back up. A flag comes out, and then carries Sean Urban and over to the 25-yard line, and then finally decked down by the Cardinals. Sean Urban hopped on the back of Kirk Coombs, and he takes it out to the 21-yard line. There's a flag back at the 40-yard line, as this one appears to be coming back on a holding penalty going against the Phillipsburg Panthers. Their third penalty so far here tonight.
Yeah, you saw that right at the line of scrimmage, and that's the official that threw the flag as he was approaching the line of scrimmage. Our defensive containment on the right side, I think it was, I can't remember, I think it was Pettigo on the right side, got pulled down by his jersey, and when that happens, the officials saw that jersey tug, and Pettigo might have had a play on the ball, but that brings it way back to 1st and 14.
Well, a costly penalty there for Phillipsburg. They've had 2 gashing runs back-to-back. Gowan and then Coombs, but the penalty, like Blake mentioned, sets them up with 1st and 14 back at their own 47-yard line. Out of the short gun here for Sides. Fakes the handoff. Looking to throw. Has time in the backfield. Another flag comes out. Gerhardt jumps on the back, and there'll be a penalty against Gerhardt as the catch was made by Kirk Coombs out at the 37-yard line. But that first penalty in the backfield should override this one as Gerhardt was a tad early, jumping on the back at Coombs as he caught it at the 35-yard line. And it's going to be another holding penalty going against Phillipsburg. Pass interference going against the Hoisington Cardinals. And they'll say offsetting penalties, and they'll repeat the down.
Yeah, that way it was a rollout pass set up in the pocket that had pressure, so the quarterback went on a roll to his right side. Pettigo was there to keep him from running, and he just kind of threw it up. It was a great catch. Rudy tried to come over the top and knock that ball away, but he was over the back. But all that negates with the holding penalty. First down over 1st and 14.
So no harm done for either one of these clubs. Costly on both sides there. That would have been huge if Phillipsburg went back-to-back penalties. Instead, still 1st and 14. The second man through is going to be Coombs. Lowers his shoulder, then spins off another defender. Jake Curtis wraps him up after about a 6-yard gain out to the 42-yard line. Kirk Coombs, 6'1", 215-pound senior. He runs hard for the Panthers.
Yeah, and has a little speed too, but his main has that, decent speed. But, boy, when he gets contact, that's a big body running with his pads low to the ground. He keeps churning, brings up 2nd and 8.
I mean, for running backs, they're all pretty big. The smallest guy in that backfield is 190 pounds. That's John Gower, their fullback. Here's 2nd and 8 after a 6-yard gain for Coombs. Sides, takes his snap, goes to Gower again, and he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage, then drilled backward. Eric Barrett and Wyatt Pettigo had the initial hit. Pettigo just spears Gowan right at the line of scrimmage. No gain, 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, what a great play by Pettigo, coming in and hitting him low, bringing him down. Who'd you say was right behind him? Barrett on the hit. Cardinals really played that well. 3rd down and 8 coming up for this powerful Phillipsburg Panther offense.
They are 1 for 3 on 3rd down so far here tonight. They have 3rd and 7 at the Hoisington 41-yard line. Sides waiting for the snap. Cardinals jump off sides. Could not be patient quite enough there for the Hoisington Cardinals. It won't be a 1st down, but on 3rd and 7, a lot easier play coming up here for the Panthers.
Yeah, 3rd and 7 is a lot different than 3rd and, what will it be, 3rd and 3. And, the way this Phillipsburg has shown themselves tonight, that's 2 downs to get 3 yards. So let's see what the Cardinals can come up with.
So now they have at the Hoisington a 37-yard line. Hoisington with 4 down linemen. Quick snap this time. Here's Gross, and he is going to be hit at the knees at the 35-yard line, and he'll be close to that 1st down marker, and it looks like he has it from here. It only needed 3 yards. He got chopped down, but not before a 1st down run for the Cardinals. Now a little bit of discussion with the white hat and a sideline referee on the far sideline. They have it spotted at the 33-yard line, and they will give them the 1st down. It'll be 1st and 10 for Phillipsburg.
Now the Cardinal defense playing well, making this offense earn every yard, but they're getting 1st downs right now.
Now at the 33-yard line for Sides, and a lot of movement before the snap for Trey Sides. And they kind of go back and forth. We saw that long cadence cost Hoisington with an encroachment penalty. And then sometimes they go with that quick hitter, that quick snap we've seen a few times already by Trey Sides. But nobody was on the same page for Phillipsburg, as that'll scoot them back 5 yards. 1st and 15, back to the 38.
We have 2 linebackers coming up in a run blitz, and it made the whole offensive line nervous for the Panthers, and about 2 or 3 of them jumped. So we're bringing Pettigo and Barrett right up the gut on a run blitz.
This is the Panthers offense as returning 10 offensive starters from last year. 5:29 to go, 2nd quarter, 1-point lead for Phillipsburg. Sides rolls out right side, has Gowan blocking for him, throws it to the sideline, far out of bounds. Xavier Robinson in on coverage, and the intended receiver was Trey Thompson once again, but it was about 4 or 5 yards into that Phillipsburg sideline across the way. Great showing for the Panther fans across the way. Hoisington fans packing Elton Brown Field as well, just below us, but it's standing room only right now here in Hoisington.
Yeah, great crowd on a Saturday afternoon, usually a college football day. But tonight in Hoisington this afternoon, it's the Panthers and the Cardinals.
Now 2nd and 15, still at the 38-yard line for Trey Sides and this Phillipsburg offense, the second-best scoring offense in Class 3A, as it'll be Kirk Coombs just surging through the middle out to the 35 and then down at the 34-yard line. A gain of about 5 yards for Kirk Coombs. His 9th carry so far here tonight, 32 yards.
Third and about 11 coming up for the Panthers there at the Cardinal 34-yard line, 33-yard line. You know, where they are, again, we've said it a lot, but that's 2 downs to go 11 yards. Let's see what the Panthers come up with. They've been going wide with the quarterback when they've been in positions like this before.
So 3rd and 11 at the 34-yard line. 3 running backs behind Trey Sides. Doesn't like the look from the Hoisington defense and calls a timeout. Their first timeout so far here in the first half. Stop clocks at 4:40 to go on our second frame. Phillipsburg 7, Hoisington 6. Both teams getting held to a 3-and-out on their opening possession. Then Phillipsburg on their second crack at it had a 14-play drive, capped off by a 2-yard run by Trey Sides. Sean Urban and the Hoisington Cardinals responded 2 possessions later with 8:52 to go in the second quarter. Urban had a 35-yard run. They went for 2, bobbled the exchange, and that's where we stand right now with a 1-point lead in favor of the Panthers.
Yeah, well, what kind of football game is this? 4:40 left in the half. The Cardinals have had the ball twice. This is the 3rd time the Panthers have had the ball. So both teams moving the football, and they're not moving it in big chunks. The Cardinals did get a big touchdown run from Urban, and they had a long run earlier in the drive before. But other than this drive, it's just been a long drive. Penalties, so both teams running the football, and both teams having to earn everything they get on the ground.
So Phillipsburg will come out with a 3rd and 11 line on top, 7-6. The Panthers have won 20 straight road games so far. Their last loss on the road back in 2014 at Norton, losing 34-7. It's been 3 years since Phillipsburg has lost on the road. They face 3rd and 11. Hoisington again, 4 down linemen in the all-red look. Coombs goes left side, cuts it back up in the middle, but he's met by Riley Philburn, and he smashes him down to the turf. It'll be a gain of 1 yard on 3rd and 11. Good job by Hoisington, pushing him back to the inside, and then Riley Philburn was there to meet him, and it'll be a 1 yard gain for Kirk Coombs.
Yeah, the Cardinal defense really playing gang football. That time Jared Curtis on the outside made Coombs come back to the middle, and right then the Cardinals, oh my goodness.
They're going to try a long field goal here on 4th and 8. It's going to be lined up at the 39-yard line. That would match his longest of the season. It is on this way, and it's going to be well short. So Honeycutt, one of the better kickers in the state, didn't get all of that one, and they will not convert on the field goal attempts, and Hoisington will take over on downs at the 33-yard line with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. 7-6. We mentioned John Honeycutt. He is a weapon by about 10 or 15 yards.
Yeah, that's good to see for the Cardinals as they get the ball back with 4 minutes left in the half. Phillipsburg only 1 touchdown on the night. This Cardinal defense playing really tough, making them earn everything they have. Long sustained drives. No points on that one. That's the longest field goal I've seen attempted, I think, in high school that I've called a game, I think ever.
Yeah, so on the field goal attempt, they take it back to 20 on the missed field goal attempt on 4th down. So Hoisington takes over at their own 20. Mason Haxton under center. The freshman quarterback turns around to the fullback. Urban has a little bit of a seam and then got brought down at the ankles at the 25-yard line. Otherwise, Sean Urban would still be running. It'll be a 7-yard gain for Sean Urban with 3:49 to go in the second.
But again, the Cardinals, one thing you like about the play, they barely got him on that, but a nice crease at the line of scrimmage as we go to the left from left side with a fake and then give it to Urban coming over the side. And we have it, it's kind of a little bit of an inside option as we isolate everyone else and option off of one player, and the blocker got him, and Urban was off.
Urban has busted off a few big 70-plus yard runs on this season. They'd love to see one here at their own 27-yard line on 2nd and 3. Haxton toss play. Pedigo avoids one tackler in the backfield, has the first down, still on his feet. He's tripped up at the 35-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle by John Gower at the 35-yard line, tripping up Wyatt Pedigo. He falls to the 39. It'll be 1st and 10 for Hoisington.
Yeah, turnabout's fair play on that. Faked Urban this time, and about 3 Phillipsburg Panther linebackers went with a fake quick pitch to Pettigo. Great cut off a block on the outside, and he was off. So big run on that play gives the Cardinals 1st and 10 at their own 44.
Just the 3rd first down for Hoisington with just under 3 minutes to go in our 2nd quarter. That flex look sends Gerhardt in motion, gets a handoff, takes it up the middle, runs into his own teammate at the 42-yard line, looking for a push. He'll pick up 3 yards as we duck under 2:40 to go in the 2nd quarter. Phillipsburg on top, 7-6.
Short gain on the play, but it was 3 yards, and it makes that team that we're playing, the Panthers, respect everyone in the backfield. And when you do that, when you get everyone looking at every running back, it creates creases. You just got to call the right play and make the right fake, and maybe Urban's running for a big one.
Hoisington has 12 playoff wins in school history. Looking for number 13 tonight against the Phillipsburg Panthers. Have 2nd and 7. This is going to go back to Sean Urban. Just follows the pile forward to the 45-yard line, then stacked up after a 4-yard gain. And there for the Hoisington Cardinals. So Urban here tonight, he has 12 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 3, approaching midfield at the Cardinal 46-yard line as we get in under 2 minutes, 1:50 left in the first half.
7-6, Phillipsburg leads as Mason Haxton, the freshman quarterback. He's the son of Kyle Haxton, an assistant coach for the Hoisington Cardinals, the assistant offensive coordinator. There's nobody that likes the success of this Hoisington offense more than Kyle Haxton. Here's 3rd and 3 at their own 45-yard line. Mason under center, short toss. He's going to be hitting the backfield. Sean Urban. Phillipsburg just blew this one up. Chris Van Koot leads the team in sacks with 5 sacks, also leads the team in tackles for loss, and this will be a loss of about a half yard there for Hoisington to make it a full yard back to the 44.
Yeah, he blew up the play from a down lineman's position. What a great jump off the ball he had, so brings up 4th and 6.
Ooh, Hoisington going out right now, showing that they'll go for it. 1 minute to go. They have it at their own 44-yard line. Haxton's under center. They need 5 yards to pick this one up, long cadence, and they will not be going for it. At least take a timeout to see what happens after that. They have 4th and 6 at their own 44-yard line. You're only down by 1. You would imagine Zach Baird going to probably play it safe coming out of this timeout with 55.8 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, he is hoping to get a jump off sides there and bring it back to 4th. That'd bring 4th and a half yard. Maybe he'd have thought about it then, but I assume he'll come out and kick it away, give him a long field, 55.8 seconds left in the half. They haven't shown yet they can score on the big play, but this is a dangerous offense. The defense has got to be ready as we go close to the half. Cardinals only down by 1, 7-6, going here towards the first half against the number 1 or number 2. Depending on the poll you look at, team in the state.
Yeah, K-Preps has them as number 2. Varsity Kansas has them at number 2. Kansas Prep Football has them as the number 1 team in the state. They're having all sorts of problems with Silver Lake, as that was a 13-0 lead for Silver Lake at the last check of that ball game. It was at halftime. We'll update you on some of the scores here at the halftime show here in Hoisington. Final minutes here of the second quarter. Dante Urban does come out to punt this one away on 4th and 4. Phillipsburg is bringing the house right now, and Urban just gets this one off. It's not a good punt. It's high, bounces down at the 45-yard line. Jared Curtis will get out of the way. It's touched near the 43 by Wyatt Pettigo. Not a good punt by Dante Urban, but Phillipsburg brought 9 guys that time looking for the block.
Yeah, he looked up, and there were 4 Panthers within 4 yards of him running for the football. So I'm glad to get that punt off. I was worried about the snap with the start of it. You never know in a game like this, but gives the Panthers the ball at their own 43, 45 seconds left in the half.
Sides can throw it. He's completing just over 50% of his passes for 761 yards passing here tonight, or coming into the season. We'll see if he stretches out the arm a little bit. Instead, they go right side to Kirk Coombs, and he is met at the line of scrimmage. Jared Curtis finishes off the play, and down and on the initial hit, Jake Curtis. Zach Baird was so proud of Jake Curtis. He thought he played extremely well Tuesday night in Cimarron. He was all over the place defensively and on the offensive line as a tight end, and he holds Coombs to a 2-yard gain. It'll now be 2nd and 8 for the final 24 seconds here of the second quarter. Sides waits for the snap. Again, they go with the run game. Gower breaks one out in the middle, out to the 45-yard line, stretches it out to the 42-yard line. So they get into Hoisington territory on another big run as this one goes for 18 yards for Gowan.
right up the middle that time with her fullback. Straight power football, quick hitter right up the middle. Quarterback out of the gun, just gives it in the belly of the fullback, and he takes off as timeout on the field.
Now things get a little bit interesting for Phillipsburg. They stop the clock with 15.1 to go as they get it back into Hoisington territory at the 42-yard line, where they will have 1st and 10. So we saw in the first 2 possessions here tonight, Blake, it just seemed like neither team was going to allow more than a yard or 2 on each carry. Now you're starting to see it open up a little bit. Sean Urban had a 35-yard run. Pedigo had a 12-yard run on the last series. And now Gower and also Kirk Coombs are starting to get some big runs going too.
Yeah, getting some little bit of space as they open up the playbook, and as both teams show they have multiple runners that can run the football, the defense has to respect that, and when that happens and you have the right play called against the defense, it can break a big one. And right now, with 15.1 seconds left in the half, you don't want that big one to be with the Panther offense. As you said, they can throw the football too, but they also still have running backs that can break big ones on the ground.
Winner will take on either Heston or Conway Springs in the 3rd round of the playoffs. That game in Conway Springs doesn't kick off until 7 o'clock, so the winner here tonight will have to wait a little bit to find out who their opponent will be in the next round. 1st and 10 coming out of the timeouts, and now we'll get a timeout by the Hoisington Cardinals. This is an important 15 seconds before the end of the first half, and Zach Baird will burn through his 2nd timeout, so both teams, both with 1 timeout left. Actually, Hoisington, that is their 3rd timeout. They had to call one on that 4th down. I apologize on that. So they're out of timeouts. Phillipsburg, though, more importantly, with 1 timeout left.
Yeah, instead of having 3 running backs around the quarterback who's in the short gun, I call it, not really deep, they had both of their 2 wing backs split out. So we had trips on one side and one over here on the left side. And Coach Bear didn't like his defense. Why not take your last time out and try to get things set up? What will the Panthers do? Will they change their play and changes up again? It won't matter because we're out of timeouts.
They're pretty good on that screenplay, so I don't know if Zach Baird and Matt Kelch are well aware of the success that Trey Sides has. They kind of set up that bubble screen as they have 3 stacked up wide receivers to the far side, right in the middle of the field. Phillipsburg going right to left with 15.1 to go at the Hoisington 42. On 1st down, it'll be the younger Sides kid throwing as he falls to his feet. It's going to be intercepted at the 28-yard line. It looks like Eric Barrett out at the sideline as Sides slipped to the floor. Barrett's hit out of bounds at the 41-yard line. He returns it 14 yards, only 6-point order, but Hoisington comes up with the interception. Eric Barrett with his 2nd pick of the season, and that wasn't Trey Sides, that was his younger brother. Ty Sides was in the ball game as they lined up Trey as a wide receiver. Sides just a freshman. Ty, that is, a 140-pound freshman, and only his 4th pass attempt of the season. So not exactly what was going through the head of J.B. Covington on that 1st down play, but Hoisington has the first turnover here tonight as they'll take over at the 40-yard line, and it looks like a safe play coming up with 6.1 to go, but the Cardinals hold Phillipsburg off the scoreboard for a 2nd time here tonight as Haxton takes the knee to go into the locker rooms. Halftime is here. Hoisington taking on the 2nd best team in the state, undefeated Phillipsburg, and the Hoisington Cardinals within 1. Phillipsburg 7, Hoisington 6. Your halftime show starts up in 2 minutes on 100.7 Eagle Country.
As a fan, you have a right to enjoy good sportsmanship as well as a responsibility to practice it. Donald E. Reif Jr., attorney at law, reminds you that at all high school sporting events, the student athlete is supposed to be the center of attention, not the fan in the stand. Donald E. Reif Jr., attorney at law, located on Main Street in Hoisington.
Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Think of Barton. Find out what drives you at Barton Community College.
Cardinal Lanes is proud to be a Cardinal. Stop by for open bowling Saturday 2 to 10 p.m. and Sunday from 1:30 to 7 p.m. with Sunday lane rental for only $10 per hour. Cardinal Lanes, 814 North Elm in Hoisington. Go Cardinals!
Whether buying your first home or your dream home, there are lots of choices. Your first choice should be First Kansas Bank. You'll work with local decision makers who can give you a quick commitment, low closing costs, and fast closing times. First Kansas Bank, Great Bend, Hayes, Hoisington, and Claflin, equal housing lender.
Halftime is here in Hoisington on an overcast Saturday evening. In Brown Field. It's a tight ball game between the number 2 team in the state, Phillipsburg, and the Hoisington Cardinals. A 7-6 lead for the Panthers at halftime. And Dr. Blake Harris, you quickly realized on the first few possessions here tonight, holding on to the football is going to be very important here this evening because yards are coming at a very rarity for both of these clubs, although we saw a few longer runs towards the end of the second quarter. It's a defensive juggernaut right now in Hoisington.
Yeah, both teams showing that they are can compete with each other, and I think, for the Cardinals, that's a good thing. You don't know with a team coming like this. Can we compete with the number 1, number 2 team in the state? And we've shown that we can sure compete with them. We're both teams very physical, both teams playing really hard, and, the Cardinals just had 3 possessions that first half, not counting the last one play, knee down as we went into the halftime, and Phillipsburg only had 4 possessions, the last one ending in an interception. So, when you get a game going, turnovers could win the game, and when you have a field goal kicker like Phillipsburg has, that could also come into play. So you'd like the Cardinals to get a little space. You'd like to see us score first, as we will. Who gets the ball?
It'll be Hoisington.
Hoisington gets the ball. For things to work out well, you'd like to see us on our first possession go down and take a lead in this game. Has Phillipsburg ever been behind this season?
I would imagine not. And maybe it was on the first possession of a ball game. But yeah, no.
Yeah, and that, I think they've gone in. They know they're in a dogfight. This is obviously the toughest game for a half anyway that they've played this year. And so maybe a little bit of doubt creeping into this Panther football team, and maybe a little confidence with the Hoisington Cardinal football team, because we've shown that we can compete with this team, only down by 1 point here in the first half.
Looking at some of the numbers, we'll hit up the team totals and the rest of the individual stats. Sean Urban, who's been going on a tear. The last 4 games, Sean Urban has been averaging 216 yards rushing per game. He also has 14 touchdowns in that 4-game span. He tacks on another TD here tonight. 13 carries for 79 yards. Sean Urban, if you kind of think about it, if he probably wasn't behind a guy like Hunter Hanslick over the last 2 or 3 years, this is a guy that's probably be putting up, 1,500-yard, 2,000-yard games or seasons, in his last 2 or 3 years. But he was behind a talented guy like Hunter Hanslick. Now in his senior year, you started to see it unfold a little bit towards the end of his junior year. But now in his senior year, man, he is the guy, and he is coming up with some strong answers as well.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun to watch. Have been blessed with great running flex bone, and Sean's stepped in behind a great one, Hunter Hanslick, and has shown that he is more than up to the task. Has all the things you want in a running back. Runs low to the ground. He weighs 190 pounds, and that's a lot of muscle from the waist down. He has great acceleration, and the Cardinal big run in the first half to give us a touchdown was a thing of beauty, as he showed, as our offense showed, really. The offensive line gave him a big crease, and then he's in space. He broke a tackle, made someone miss, and then from about 7 yards out down the sideline, just lowered the boom and got to the pylon. So Sean Urban's been a lot of fun to watch. And, you can't mention him without mentioning the offensive line and the way this offense works. The offensive line is the power behind any offense, and Phillipsburg's shown they have a great one too. That's what I noticed on film, is their offensive line, and I noticed the power that because every time I saw them run, they were running for a 70, 80-yard touchdown because their offensive line just created huge creases. Well, they're not finding that tonight. Maybe once or twice. I said before the game that the Cardinal defensive front seven is going to determine whether we can compete, and boy, have they shown they can compete.
Phillipsburg only giving up 8.5 points per game. They are the top scoring defense in Class 3A. Hoisington scores 6 on them at halftime. They're going to need more. They're going to have to get over that average as they trail by 1 at the break, 7-6. More to come in your halftime show. We'll track down some of the scores happening across the state in Class 3A. Only 16 teams remain, and now less than that after a few of those games already finishing up earlier this afternoon. We'll update you on some of those scores, including the Larned Indians competing at home today as well. Halftime score in Hoisington has the Cardinals down by 1 to Phillipsburg, 7-6. It's Cardinal football on 100.7 Eagle Country.
At Trading Time, team up with Marmies. Find just what you're looking for. Get your best deal without the ordeal. Now with over 5 decades of service to Central and Western Kansas, business is good. Repeat sales are up and customers are satisfied. Marmy Ford Lincoln and Marmy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Great Bend. See us today.
The Hoisington Dairy Queen now has the $5, $6 lunch all day. Get 3 chicken strips or a deluxe cheeseburger for $5. Get a crispy chicken sandwich or 1/3 double with cheese for $6. Comes with fries, drink, and a sundae. Or upgrade your sundae to a blizzard for just $1 at the Hoisington Dairy Queen.
You're familiar with the phrase, beef. It's what's for dinner. America's taste for beef continues to grow, and much of that nutritious product is produced right here in our local community. Innovative Livestock Services, Ward Feed Yard, Great Bend Feeding, and Barton County Feeders wish all area schools the very best.
Ever wonder why some wireless carriers charge so much more than others? At Nextech Wireless, you receive nationwide coverage, 4G LTE data, and unlimited data. But we don't overcharge you. Say goodbye to your carrier, and hello to Nextech Wireless.
Live from the Nextech Wireless Studios in 12th and Baker. Are you ready for something different? This is 100.7 Eagle Country. KHOK Hoisington, Great Bend, Larned, an employee-owned Eagle radio station.
Cole Ripe with you alongside Dr. Blake Harris in Hoisington this Saturday evening. Cardinals trailing Phillipsburg in the second round of the playoffs by a score of 7-6. Only the third meeting between these two clubs in the playoffs, and the two teams are 1-1. The rubber match here tonight. Phillipsburg won back in 2002. They beat Hoisington here in Hoisington 14-13. Zach Baird, the head coach of Hoisington, he was a senior for the Cardinals in 2002. Matt Kelch, the defensive coordinator, he was a sophomore for the Phillipsburg Panthers. And it was Matt Kelch winning that matchup as Phillipsburg won 14-13. Two teams met up once again in 2009, and it saw Hoisington win that ball game 35-6. As now 1-1 against the Phillipsburg Panthers in the playoffs. Now they have met since 2009 in the regular season. In 2013 at Phillipsburg, Hoisington lost 33-6. Nolan McCurry, a great running back for Hoisington, rushed for over 100 yards in that ball game with 110. But it was Riley Juneman in Phillipsburg. He was outstanding in that ball game as he led the Panthers to that 33-6 win. Then in 2012, back in Hoisington, it was a 27-6 win for the Phillipsburg Panthers as well. So Phillipsburg has won 2 straight. Hoisington has the last playoff win in the series, winning back in 2009, 35-6. At halftime, it is a 7-6 lead for the second-ranked team in the state. Some of the other in Class 3A here in the second round this Saturday. Only class playing on a Saturday as far as the big boys, and it'll be Marysville and Larned. They kicked off at 3 o'clock at Earl Roberts Field. Marysville had a 24-7 lead at halftime. Larned made things somewhat interesting in this.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in Kansas is this: without a committed team of coaches and administrators, they just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
the team an end to the season for Hoisington last year back in Heston. But if Heston wins, it's going to be on the road and back into Swather country.
Yeah, we don't have very good memories of that game last year. It'd be nice to get another shot at either team. We don't have very good memories of Conway Springs either down at Conway Springs. We went down there with a pretty good football team and got thumped once. But at any rate, you got to win this one, and we're competing right now. And 7-6, the Cardinals right in this football game. Two very physical football teams. And, if we, from here on out, Heston, Conway Springs, it's going to be, you say Conway's probably favored just because are they undefeated?
Yeah, they're one of 5 undefeated teams.
They have the kind of program, like Garden Plain, Conway Springs. Garden Plain's down a little bit this year, aren't they?
Yeah, they didn't make it. They always they're competing in that tough district, so it's Conway Springs.
It's Cheedy and Garden Plain. But they're usually not down very long. Conway Springs kind of down the last couple years for them, but all of a sudden here they are back undefeated. They have a football program down there, not unlike the Cardinals have a football program here in Hoisington right now. Kids want to play for the Cardinals, and you look stands right now, gosh, almost all the way around. And you come up here as a little kid and, little kid football, you want to come grow up and play for this team. And Phillipsburg's the same way. You look at their roster, like I said, they must have every kid.
58 guys out for football.
That's a lot for a 3A football team. We've played some teams this year where we just see 20 people on the sidelines. So it's exciting playoff football. 1.5 to go. We still got a shot. Down by 1 point, Cole.
So Conway Springs and Heston at 7 o'clock in Conway Springs. Larned mentioned losing to Marysville 36-28. Blew out Marion 50 earlier this afternoon. Osage City on top at home against Caney Valley 31-21. That's just getting started in the fourth quarter. Galena leads Wellsville 20-6. That was the score back at the end of the third quarter. And Silver Lake on top of Nemaha Central. Two of the top teams in the state. Silver Lake undefeated. Nemaha Central undefeated. It's 19-7 in favor of Silver Lake on the road in the fourth quarter. They lead the Tornadoes. It is 1:43 to go here with our halftime show. We'll take another break, come back with some of the numbers. Hoisington trails at 7-6 here at Elton Brown Field in Hoisington. You're listening to Cardinal Football on 100.7 Eagle Country.
Cardinal Pharmacy is your locally owned Health Mart Pharmacy and a proud supporter of the Hoisington Cardinals. At Health Mart Pharmacy, they take time to get to know you and answer any questions you may have, caring for you and about you. Cardinal Pharmacy. Go get them, Cardinals.
USD 431 Hoisington is proud to sponsor this broadcast of Hoisington Cardinal Sports. USD 431 Hoisington encourages fans, athletes, coaches, and spectators to demonstrate good sportsmanship throughout the competition. Goals.
Superior Essex and Hoisington would like to wish the Hoisington Cardinals a successful sports season. Superior Essex is committed to the protection of the environment and the health and safety of its employees, customers, and neighbors. Superior Essex says, go Cardinals.
Town and Country Supermarket Hoisington is your locally owned and operated grocery store for more than 50 years. The freshest meat department with excellent beef, pork, and poultry cut and packaged on site, plus a full-service deli. Good luck, Cardinals, from your fans at Town and Country Supermarket.
7-6 at the break here in Hoisington. Phillipsburg on top of the Hoisington Cardinals as the Panthers hosted their first-round game. Hoisington was on the road, making this tonight's ball game in Hoisington on a Saturday. Looking at the numbers here tonight individually, Phillipsburg, they are led by John Gower. He had 7 carries, 8 yards. Right behind him was Kirk Coombs, 12 carries for 41 yards. Traylon Gross had 3 carries for 10 yards. Trey Sides, 3 carries in the first quarter for 11 yards. He has the 1 score for the Phillipsburg Panthers on a 2-yard run. And Sides was 1 for 3 passing in the first half for 17 yards. That pass went out to Trey Thompson, who leads the team in receptions so far this year for those 17 yards. Hoisington, they're led by Sean Urban once again, 13 carries, 79 yards, and a 35-yard rushing touchdown. touchdown. Wyatt Pettigo, 2 carries, 14 yards. Haxton with the knee at the end with 1 carry, -2 yards. And Rudy Gerhardt, 4 carries for a total of 3 yards. Haxton yet to attempt a pass so far here tonight. Team numbers, Phillipsburg 110 yards on the ground, 17 through the air for a total of 127 yards. Hoisington 94 yards on the ground, 0 through the air for a total of 94. Phillipsburg gaining Hoisington 127 in the first half. And you look at Phillipsburg's season numbers, they only are giving up an average of 82 yards rushing per game. That's their average, how good their defense has been. Hoisington already over Phillipsburg's defensive average at 94 in the first half. Panthers on top 7-6. We'll take our final time out of our halftime show. Back with the second half in minutes on 100.7 Eagle Country.
The Hoisington Recreation Commission has something for everyone. Top-of-the-line wellness center, indoor walking and running track, racquetball court, and large gymnasium. Join us for the K-State KU football game October 28th. $50 includes a bus ride and a ticket to the game. Go Cardinals!
Scott Christian's Construction would like to wish the Hoisington Cardinals sports teams good luck this week. Scott Christian's Construction specializes in concrete, garages, buildings, and roofing. Call Scott Christian's Construction at 620-617-0241.
Nothing ever stays the same, especially our vision. As we grow older, our eyesight can change dramatically. That's why the office of Dr. Tyler Schremer recommends getting your eyesight checked annually so you can enjoy life to the fullest. Dr. Tyler Schremer in Hoisington.
When it comes to headaches and back pain, there is help. Dr. Chad Beck with Beck Chiropractic is there when you need relief from life's aches and pains. Beck Chiropractic for all your health, wellness, and nutritional needs. Dr. Chad Beck, proud supporter of Cardinal Sports.
100.7 Eagle Country, GreatBendPost.com. We appreciate everybody listening no matter where you're at. You can listen to us worldwide. Listeners in Pennsylvania, California, you name it. Glad to have all the Hoisington alum and fans of the Big Red Machine tuning in this Saturday evening on 100.7 Eagle Country. Halftime has the Phillipsburg Panthers on top 7-6. Hoisington will receive the football to start out the second half, winning the coin toss deferring. So Phillipsburg started out receiving the ball, saw a couple 3-and-outs by both clubs. Phillipsburg scoring on their second possession with 2:31 to go in the first quarter on a Trey Sides 2-yard rushing touchdown. And then Sean Urban with 8:52 to go in the second quarter on a 35-yard run. So not much offense, but as you saw in that second quarter, Blake, things started to open up a little bit for both teams.
Yeah, interesting. The Cardinals come out here, receive the football, and as I doubt that he's going to have a pooch kick or a turf burner type of kick, so it might give the Cardinals an opportunity for a big return.
Now, we've seen Hoisington throughout the season has had some issues as far as holding on to the football on those returns and coming up with a catch, and they've kind of gone gun-shy a little bit and getting out of the way. But on the kickoff, let's see if they can get a return. A high end-over-end kick underway in the second half, picked up at the 11-yard line by a Hoisington Xavier Robinson, and he slips. And the issues continue for the Cardinals as his knee hits the turf back at the 11. You liked his chances to at least get to the 20 or the 25. As Phillipsburg was coming down on special teams, instead he slips. It'll be a long field back at the 11.
Yeah, I'd like to have seen what happened because you get a high end-over kick deep like that. And a lot of times high school football, that kick outruns the coverage coming down for the defense. The Cardinals, no chance as the feet went out from under him.
Hoisington, 3 first downs in the first half. We'll start out their own 11-yard line. Gerhardt goes in motion. It'll be Mason Haxton in on his first carry, and Phillipsburg just swallows him up back at the 10. It'll be a 1-yard loss for the freshman quarterback.
Who had the ball? Was that Urban or was that Mason?
I don't know if Haxton got the handoff in time or not, but
yeah, well,
a 1-yard loss.
They stuffed that power football just straight handoff over the right side, and they had that swallowed up, so it brings up 2nd and 11. You know, one thing that kind of bobbled kickoff will do is it might give field position to Phillipsburg.
Now Hoisington needs to be careful right now. They need a big first down in a big way. They need a big run. Sean Urban just puts his back into that defensive line by Phillipsburg, not giving up much room out to the 13-yard line. For Sean Urban. Urban, 14 carries in the first half, making 13 carries for 79 yards. He gains 3, setting up 3rd and 8.
It'll be interesting to see also. Both teams trying feel pretty good about their defense, probably playing the same kind of defense, and it looks like Phillipsburg is also, but so far Phillipsburg has stopped us on the first two.
Hoisington was 1 of 5 on third downs in the first half, trying to get Phillipsburg to draw off sides, and it might have done it. And an encroachment call will not give the Cardinals a first down on 3rd and 8, but a little bit easier now for the Big Red Machine. 10:43 to go, third quarter, opening possession of the third frame. Hoisington down 7-6. That'll be the 5th penalty against Peaburg.
Yeah, and that's a nice one for the Cardinals. 3rd and 3 is a lot better than 3rd and 8. As the Cardinals come up to the football, we're deep in our own territory. A first right now position would be critical.
Hoisington on the season has converted on 49%, so they're third downs. They face 3rd and 3 at their own 18-yard line as we have played 90 seconds here in the third quarter. Haxton again under center. Pettigrew goes in motion, play action, looking to throw. Throws out in the flat. Gerhardt can't hold on to it as he's pushed out of bounds here on the near sideline. Josh Linker, great coverage as Gerhardt, as soon as he had a paw on it, Linker came up on the hit. It'll be 4th and 3.
Yeah, gutsy call trying to catch Phillipsburg off guard. If I'm not mistaken, they brought one linebacker up more on the line of scrimmage. They had a 6-man front that time for the Panthers, and we tried to catch him off guard. The ball just a little bit high, or it would have been a first down.
Ty Sides and Thompson back deep to receive the football on a punt by Dante Urban. They're lined up at the 50-yard line. This could be great field position here for Phillipsburg as the punt comes down at the 38, and Casti will finally pick it up as it stops at near the 43-yard line. So another decent punt for Dante Urban, but an even bigger play on that was the opening kickoff here of the second half. Xavier Robinson slipping, hitting his knee to the turf at 11, and that dooms now Phillipsburg starting out with great field position at the Hoisington 43.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about, field position. That might be the biggest outcome of that kickoff return that wasn't.
So again, that pistol flex look here for the Phillipsburg Panthers. It'll be Gower, the first man through, as he picks up a couple of yards out to the 41-yard line. John Gower averaging 59 yards per game. They say he is just a film junkie. Watches so much film before each and every ball game. He is the heart and soul of the defense at linebacker. He picks up 1 yard out to the 42.
Yeah, watch him faking and trying to go wide. That's something that they really that hurt us once with in the first half.
4 down linemen here for the Hoisington Cardinals. Kirk Reisner has a DN on the left side, and they will whistle this one dead on 2nd and 9, and it'll be a false start going against Phillipsburg. So they already had an encroachment call called against them defensively. Now with a false start, there's 6 yellow flag here tonight on 2nd and 9. It'll set up 2nd and 14 with 9:35 to go in the third quarter. Panthers on top by 1.
Now watch the play call here. That changes what they might try to do. That's 3 downs to go, 13 yards. Watch something wide or watch the pass going deep.
Jarrett Shelton hovers over the football, the starting center, 235-pound junior. They fake the handoff, side still has it. Another flag comes out. He's going to be hit by Braxton Donovan in the backfield. It'll be a 3-yard loss out to the 48-yard line. Great job by Braxton Donovan. He was on a beeline to the quarterback as he tried to make his way out to the sideline, and a flag comes out on the play as well with 9:16 to go in our third quarter.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Was it holding call?
Yep.
Holding call. It'd be 3rd and 13, 14 yards, or you're going to be 2nd and 20-some yards. So decision by the coaches. Looks like they're going to take the penalty, give them the down over, but push them back even farther. But great, we talked about it before the play, before the ball was snapped. Watch him going wide with the quarterback, but the Cardinals ready for it as Braxton Donovan and a host of Cardinals kept him from cutting upfield.
Yeah, after starting with terrible field position when Phillipsburg began on the Hoisington 43, they're back at their own 41 on 2nd and a mile. As Sides turns around, here's Kirk Coombs, his first carry of the second half, and he's met by Sean Urban at the 45-yard line, then spun down at the 46. It'll be a gain of 5 yards for Kirk Coombs. He had 12 carries, 41 yards in the first half.
Big third down coming up here. Going to get them anywhere close to that first down sticker as it's 3rd and 21. You want to force them to punt. They're in a good position to punt. Field position still in their favor. But this is a big third down play here.
Trey Sides just 1 for 3 passing so far here tonight. Lined up in the short gun on 3rd and 21. Option play left side. Sides still has it. Finds a seam to the 50. Flag comes out. Still on his feet to the 45. Has a first down. Makes a man miss at the 30. To the 20. 15. 10. 5. Touchdown. A flag is back out on the field near the 40-yard line. But as of now, Trey Sides has a 54-yard run. And we'll see what the call is. Well, Hoisington fans looking for another holding penalty.
It was holding.
As the White Hat faces the press box, and thank goodness. A holding penalty going against the Phillipsburg Panthers, and a good showing across the way, yelling out their boos across Elton Brown Field, as that will erase a 54-yard rushing touchdown by Trey Sides. He has been the difference maker with his legs so far here tonight, despite this one coming back.
Yeah, that was a scary play. It was a quarterback run all the way, student body left around the end, and he great cut at the hash mark, and then cut again back across the field. So we're back at 3rd and 21 or so. Cardinals going to have to watch out for that play as the quarterback, as we've said all night long. See, that seems to be their big play, quarterback going wide. Earlier, we stopped him on the same play, but this time they had it blocked well.
Now 3rd and 24 for Phillipsburg Panthers as they'll go up the middle for Kurt Coombs, and he just bursts through Hoisington's D-line and takes it all the way out to the 44-yard line. Now they had a long way to pick up a first down. He'll be well short, but a good run by Kurt Coombs as he takes it out to Hoisington 44.
Yeah, that was a 10-yard run right up the gut. Is that offensive line of Phillipsburg starting to make a difference in this football game? 4th and 11, and right now it looks like they're lined up to go for it.
It'll be an official timeout right now as, I don't know who had an issue with the face mask. Yeah, Wyatt Pettigo, but now ready to go. Trey Sides, the quarterback, also the punter, as he'll punt this one away. Gerhardt over his head, now gets out of the way, needs to get in the end zone, but it'll be stopped short. Did he go into the end zone, though? No. And he stops it at the 2-yard line. What a play for the Phillipsburg Panthers. Trey Sides, they're also their punter, punts this one inside the 5. Hoisington has the football, down by 1, and they'll start this drive at their own 2-yard line. What a big special teams play. We've seen 2 already to begin the 3rd quarter. Xavier Robinson falling to a knee on the kickoff return, started them out at the 11, and now a great punt pins Hoisington at their own 2.
Yeah, and that's kind of tough. It's 4th and 11, so you don't think they're going to go for it, but you have to respect that they might because they're at midfield, and they line up like they're going to run a play out of the shotgun, but the quarterback just catches it and quick kicks it.
The chess match continues here in Hoisington. Here's Sean Irvin just trying to get out of the shadow of his own end zone, and he is stacked up near the 3-yard line. Maybe 1.5 yards for Sean Irvin on his forward progress. 7:39 to go in our 3rd quarter. It is Hoisington trailing by 1 to the Phillipsburg Panthers.
Yeah, 7-6, and we talked about it on the slip by Xavier Robinson on the receiving the kickoff, how important that might be, and it sure has played out that way in the 3rd quarter. 7:21 left. The Cardinals backed up.
4 down linemen for the Phillipsburg Panthers looking for a safety on a toss play out to Pettigo, and he stretches it out to the 5-yard line, then curled over at the 7-yard line, and a booming hit there by Josh Linker, the safety, coming in on the smashing hit on Pettigo. Gets a little bit more breathing room on a gain of about 3 yards.
Yeah, it brings up 3rd and a long 5. It'd be great to somehow get a first down, keep on, maybe get this defense on its heels a little bit. But right now, the battle of field position has all been in Phillipsburg's favor here in the second half.
3rd and 6. Hoisington just 1 for 6 on 3rd downs here tonight. They have it at their own 6-yard line. Gerhardt, he goes in motion. hacks and turns to Sean Irvin up the middle. Phillipsburg was ready for it as they gobble him up at the 9-yard line. He'll pick up 3 yards on 3rd and 6, and Hoisington will be forced to punt the football away with 6:26 to go in the 3rd quarter, down by 1.
Yeah, when you're punting with your back, their punter will be close to the end of the end zone. That's when you worry about mistakes happen, the snap and the kick. And they're deep guys at the Cardinal 33-yard line.
That's Trey Sides out the 40-yard line as Urban will punt this one away in his own end zone. They need a good one here. It's right at the returner Sides. Catches it at the 36 on the run to the 30. Angles out to the 25. Now to the 20. 15, 10. Makes the cut at the 5-yard line. Dives for the goal line. And no signal yet. Sides taking it all the way to the 1-yard line. They're going to give him the touchdown or not. And it looks like they're going to mark it out of bounds. But he is going to be close. We'll see where this is going to be at. So the younger brother of Trey Sides, Ty Sides, the freshman with a big return. As he takes it out to the 4-yard line is where they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. And that'll be a 32-yard return by Ty Sides. First and goal for the Panthers, on top by 1. Looking to punch one in. Trey Sides has the 1 rushing touchdown here tonight. The quarterback takes the snap, hands it out to Gower, and he just surges ahead, and he is in. Touchdown Phillipsburg, 5:46 to go here in the third quarter as they now take a 13-6 lead against the Hoisington Cardinals.
Well, the only thing good about this is maybe the Cardinals can get out of with their backs to the wall and not have to dig themselves out of a hole continually. This is a whole field possession game the second half. And the Phillipsburg won that, obviously, and a return as he did not fair catch it and set up the Cardinal defense and almost scored.
So now for the extra points for Hunnicutt. It's a great kicker. Missed a 49-yard field goal in the first half, but no problems with the PAT. That's a big PAT. 5:46 to go in the third quarter, and it is now an 8-point lead here for the Phillipsburg Panthers on top, 14-6. Still a one-possession ball game here in our third quarter. Back in 30 seconds on 100.7 Eagle Country.
This is Jan from Fuller Industries, and we are proud to help sponsor this sports broadcast. For over 100 years, Fuller Industries has provided single-source solutions for your cleaning needs. Fuller Industries reminds you to help your neighbor and shop local.
Dr. Blake Harris and staff encourage and support all high school students who participate in extracurricular activities. A positive attitude and teamwork will not only but also a long and happy life. Good luck, Cardinals, from the office of Dr. Blake Harris, Hoisington.
Supermarket, Scott Christian's Construction, and Marmy Chrysler, Marmy Ford. Well, a big return is setting up the touchdown drive there on the first play, but Ty Sides, the freshman, returning at 32 yards out to the Hoisington 4-yard line. And like we mentioned it, Hoisington just got buried on field positions on the opening 2 possessions here tonight, and that cost them 6 points, well now 7 points after the extra point. So Hunnicutt on to kick this one off at the 40-yard line. High end over and kick, picked up at the 22-yard line by Xavier Robinson, and he runs right into the Phillipsburg returner as he's going to be knocked down by Gower, who had that rushing touchdown, and he'll be hit at the 21. So it's not as bad field position. They started out the 11 on the first drive of the second half. At the 2-yard line on their second drive, they'll start at the 21 with 5:41 to go in the third quarter, down by 8.
Yeah, you start to sense this Phillipsburg team getting a little bit of confidence as this second half goes on. This is a big offensive series for the Hoisington Cardinals. We got to move the football and show them that we're still in the football game, as right now it's teetering on them taking control.
Cardinals need an answer as they start this drive at their own 21-yard line, down by touchdown. Play action, Haxton in trouble. Phillipsburg all over him, heaves it deep downfield. Gerhardt getting tangled up with a Phillipsburg defender. Nothing called out at the 50-yard line. Kelch wanted a call there on the near sideline. Intended receiver Rudy Gerhardt, but Mason Haxton overthrowing the senior wideout on that play.
Yeah, running to his left, throwing with his right hand. He was there, 2 Phillipsburg Panthers right on his tail, but he is able to get the ball up down the sideline, and Gerhardt was well covered. Little bumps going on down, but no call. Gutsy call on first down, brings up 2nd and 10.
And Phillipsburg has no problems with any team trying to throw the ball. They have 28 turnovers so far in the season. 21 of those 28 interceptions. That's secondary, just ball hawks. And between the 4 of them, they have 10 picks, that linebacker core with the rest of them. 5:33 to go in the third quarter. Hoisington trails at 14-6. Just a second pass attempt for Mason Haxton so far here tonight. Now 2nd and 10 for the Cardinals, still at their own 21-yard line. Gerhardt goes in motion, gets the pitch out to the far sideline, chased down by Kirk Coombs, and he is tripped up at the 19-yard line. It'll be a loss on the play, and a great job by Coombs and Trey Thompson darting in there, hitting Rudy Gerhardt in the air, a loss of 2.
This team has great team pursuit with team speed, and that time we did have a blocker out in front of Rudy, but the rest of the Phillipsburg defense, who what you hope to wall off and keep from getting out there was right there with him. So that brings up 3rd and 12 coming up for this Cardinal offense.
You just feel they need some type of spark right now. Elton Brown Field on this side getting a little bit quiet. 4 wide receivers on 3rd and 12 for Mason Haxton. Rolls out in trouble. Screenplay set up, but it's deflected at the line. What a play by Phillipsburg, and that could have been a big play for Sean Urban, but instead, I believe it was Gower getting a hand on that one. It'll be an incomplete pass, 4th and 12. Hoisington forced to punt the ball away for the 3rd straight time here in the second half.
Yeah, on the way they fielded that last punt, the Cardinals don't have a great distance punt team right now, as their deep guys are setting up about the 44, so look out.
Another dangerous situation here, punting this one away. Tight sides nearly took it the distance on the last return. Urban gets his snap, angles this one out to the sideline, and will not be returned as Sides falls on top of the football. Didn't need to do that. That was a dangerous play by Ty Sides. Okay, so maybe he knew something we didn't, as it might have hit one of the Panthers coming back. So Sides falls on top of the football. A better starting field position this time, but the Panthers still pretty good shape as they'll start out at their own 46-yard line, up 14-6 with 4:37 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, the way where they've gotten the ball so far in this second half, this seems like a long way for them to go.
Zach Baird and the Cardinals need a stop here, down by 8 with 4:37 to go in the 3rd quarter. Sides the handoff, goes to Gower, and he just pushes ahead across of midfield and into Hoisington territory at the 48-yard line. It'll be a 6-yard run by John Gower. His longest run of the season is 15 yards, and he has been steady so far here tonight as he picks up close to 7.
Yeah, close to 7, and this offensive line for the Panthers is really starting to assert itself. Our Cardinal defense looks a little tired out there right now. 2nd down and 3. Cardinals down 14-6.
Riley Philburn in as a D tackle on the 2nd and 3 play. 1st down run by Coombs, looking for more at the 40, and then Charlie tripped up down at the 36-yard line. Kirk Coombs, one of his better runs so far here tonight, as he takes it for 12 yards, and they continue to slash up this Hoisington defense.
Yeah, their Daubers are down a little bit. They got to fire up a little bit. And I noticed that on the last series that the Panther offensive line looks to be taking control of the football game. We need something to happen on defense. Can't afford to go down 21-6 here in the 3rd.
Now at the Cardinal 36-yard line, Sides awaiting the snap. Gets it, turns around. This time it'll be Gross getting his number called. Avoids a tackle in the backfield and stacked up near the 32-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 4 yards for Jalen Gross, the junior. Mentioned sometimes his 2nd or 3rd on.
So 3 downs to go, a little more than 5 yards.
Snuck in and breaks through the pile, and he is off to the end zone. Kirk Coombs on a quarterback sneak. He went under center. Jarrett Shelton, he took it, goes for 31 yards and a touchdown for Phillipsburg. Now on top by 2 scores. A little trickery for the Phillipsburg Panthers.
Well, he saw something when he came up. He's usually in the gun, and as right before he called for the snap, the Panthers must have done this before. He just went right.
3:04 to go, giving up terrible field position to the Phillipsburg Panthers. 41 yards, and he's already over yards, over 6.
Interesting play, and it looks like it was kind of a called play. I didn't notice he was the one taking the snap, but he, instead of quarterback back there, he took the snap from a quarterback sneak. They must have seen something on the film at halftime and kind of held it for the right time, and sure enough, big play in the football game. Cardinals down 21-6. Cardinals Daubers are down a little bit right now. You can tell they're starting to feel a little bit defeated. It might be the pounding of this big offensive line from Phillipsburg and the big running backs really running hard, but we need a spark. We need something to get our offense going.
You mentioned a heads-up play by Kirk Coombs. He's a smart guy. 26 on his ACT, trying to get up that to closer to 30. Trying to get into the Ivy League is what he wants to do. Already a certified nursing aide, and he's really interested in the medical field as well. So a very smart guy in Kirk Coombs, a senior for Phillipsburg. There's a kickoff return at the 6-yard line by Xavier Robinson. Breaks it up the middle, and then is decked at the 35-yard line. Xavier Robinson just sped through the initial line on special teams and takes it out to the 36, close to a touchdown, but he got drilled at the 35-yard line. Maybe, just maybe, Blake, that's a spark that will get Hoisington started down 21-6.
Yeah, plenty of game left, but down 21-6, 2:55 left in the third. He got a head of steam going, and I saw 3 Panthers coming on him, and I was just hoping no fumble, because it was a stand-up, head-up, running collision between Robinson and the Panther defense.
Hoisington threw the ball on first down on the last possession. See if they get back to the running game. Toss play near sideline. Pettigo cuts it back up to the 40-yard line before he is tripped up at the 39. It'll be a gain for Wyatt Pettigo, the sophomore for the Hoisington Cardinals. Zach Barrett, as a freshman, thought Pettigo might be one of the better running backs that Hoisington has, and they've gone through a lot of them. He's kind of getting to a slow start here in his sophomore season, but he's been playing behind a talented Sean Urban so far this year.
Yeah, and he's playing from the wingback spot, a little different place, a little different. You get the ball a little different. You get it going sideways a lot. But 2nd and 6, we need a drive here by the Cardinals.
2:20 to go in the third quarter. Hoisington down to Phillipsburg, the second-ranked team in the state, 21-6. Screenplay set up to Sean Urban, but Phillipsburg is all over. Kirk Coombs and also Gower just drills Sean Urban for a loss on the play on the screenplay set up for the Hoisington Cardinals. First pass completion for Mason Haxon, now 1 for 4. This goes for -2.
Yeah, they read that all the way. What a great defensive play. As, again, they have 6, 7, 8, 9 people in the box, and as Urban released to the right side, passed right down the whole way, got hit as soon as he caught the ball.
Hoisington just 1 for 8 on third downs here tonight. They face 3rd and 9 at their own 37-yard line with 1:37 to go in the third quarter. Flags come out as they'll whistle this one dead. Haxon was rolling out for a pass, but a false start will be whistled against the Cardinals. Just a third penalty here tonight. We've seen a lot of costly penalties going against Phillipsburg here this evening. They've had 4 penalties in the 15-yard variety, but the Panthers, despite those penalty issues, still up by 2 scores here tonight against the Cardinals.
Yeah, and it brings up 3rd and 15, and, unless you can break off a big run, our passing game is really untested, meaning we haven't really thrown the ball that much this year. I'm hoping for no turnovers and maybe get a punt off and maybe make Phillipsburg, have to go on a long series instead of getting a good field position.
Here's 3rd and 14 with 1:15 to go in the third quarter. Hoisington trails it 21-6. Play action. Haxon coming to the left, throwing across his body. Won't get the football out. Throws it out as he's falling to the turf. They're going to say his knee was down. Haxon just trying to flip one out as he was getting hit in the backfield. A huge loss for the Hoisington Cardinals all the way back to the 20-yard line for Hoisington. And what was 3rd and 14 will be 4th and about 17.
That'll be 4th and 25.
Oh, yeah, excuse me, yeah.
And that good field position I was hoping for just disappeared on one play. The big nose tackle, 6'4", 255 pounds, has been in on us on every pass play. He really rushes the passer well, was back there. And Mason, we're fortunate that wasn't a fumble recovery, and they have the ball right there right now. But Phillipsburg setting up, smelling blood here right now, setting up a punt return.
Yeah, it'll be a loss of 12 yards on third down. Dante Urban getting used a lot. Punts this one away from the returner, takes a hop at the 40-yard line, and then finally comes to a stop by Tanner Cassidy at the 46-yard line. Phillipsburg just running downhill right now. They'll start out with the football at the Hoisington 46-yard line, 19.4 to go in our third quarter. Hoisington trails this one 21-6. What a beautiful setting it is, though, this Saturday evening as the sun continues to set here at Elton Brown Field. It's a beautiful setting for high school football, but right now, not so beautiful on the scoreboard for the Cardinals. So Trace Sides back in at quarterback here for a 1st and 10 play, starting out the Hoisington 46. Gower gets it, plums ahead across the 30-45, and then down at the 43-yard line. It'll be a 2.5-yard gain for John Gower.
Yeah, right up the gut, just using their power football right now. The Cardinal defense held pretty tough on that one, holding him to about a 2.5 yard gain.
Well, the Phillipsburg Panthers have won 20 straight road games, including 5 straight road playoff games. They have won 5 straight playoff games on the road, and they lead the Hoisington Cardinals 21-6 as we go into the final quarter here at Elton Brown Field. You're listening to Cardinal Football on 100.7 Eagle Country.
The Hoisington Veterinary Hospital, located just south of Hoisington on Highway 281, wishes the Cardinals the best of luck this season. For large or small animal care, you can count on Dr. Lindsay Mitchell and the staff at the Hoisington Veterinary Clinic, or visit them online at www.hoisingtonvet.net.
Hi, this is Kathy Burt with State Farm Insurance. We're here to help you with your auto, home, health, and life insurance. State Farm offers consistent service and coverage that you can count on. We're proud to support the Cardinals, and we're here to serve you on South Main, Hoisington.
At Clara Barton Hospital, quality care and service is something you can depend on. Whether it's a broken arm or a heart attack, Clara Barton is there.
Creating great patient experiences.
Hey Cardinal fans, this is Gene Manweiler. On behalf of my family's 4 generations of serving as your Chevy dealer in Hoisington, we have been proud supporters of the Hoisington Cardinals for the last 89 years. And we are proud to continue that tradition today and into the future. Go Cardinals!
Phillipsburg starting to feel it a little bit as we begin the fourth quarter in Hoisington. Kirk Coombs on a 2nd and 8 at the Hoisington 44-yard line. Will take this one for 4 yards, close to the 39. The Panthers up 21-6, and they're surging with another offensive possession.
Yeah, their offensive line, they're finding some creases in that big running back. He got hit hard, but it was after a 4 or 5 yard gain, so we have 3rd and 3, 2 downs to go 3.
Sides awaiting the snap from Shelton. Finally gets in a leg cadence, and it's going to be Coombs again for the first down. Breaks a tackle at the 35-yard line, then wrestled down inside the 30, down at the 27. A 9-yard run on 3rd and 3 for Kirk Coombs as he takes it to the Hoisington 27-yard line.
Same play they ran just before where he picked up 4. This time he broke a tackle, wasn't gang tackling after the line surge. Is this offensive line for Phillipsburg really feeling their oats, our defense on its heels.
21-6, Panthers on top. They led by 1 at halftime. Here's 1st and 10. This is going to be Gross, the little bit speedster, and he breaks through the pile and takes it up. He cranks it up to a 10 at the 10, 5 touchdown. And it is Phillipsburg tacking on more points here tonight as another rushing touchdown comes for the very talented Panther offense. This time a 27-yard run by Traylon Gross, 19th touchdown of the season.
Well, we have terrible field position to start out the second half, and we've kind of started noticing it, and we mentioned it, this offensive line for Phillipsburg starting to feel it a little bit. The Cardinal defense hanging their heads a little bit, getting tired out there as this Phillipsburg offensive line just pounding us right up the gut.
Honeycutt just bangs in the extra point and hits all the way to the fence here at Elton Brown Field on that Cardinal logo. 11:05 to go in the fourth quarter. It is a 28-6 lead for the Phillipsburg Panthers. Just the third meeting ever between these two clubs in the playoffs. It was a 1-1 series tie. Right now, the Panthers looking for to win the rubber match tonight in Hoisington as they're on top 28-6.
Yeah, they're a physical football team. They're a big football team, and it's wearing us down a little bit. Their defense, their offensive line is controlling the game right now, and their defense, and usually I say front 7, but their defense is a front 10, front 9 as they really crowd the box, and they're really making it hard for us to find a seam, anything. Our Cardinal offense needs to get going a little bit, needs to give the defense a rest, get them off of the field. We have a lot of people play both ways, but when you're playing defense all the time and getting pounded like that with this big running back as he comes through the line of scrimmage, you need the offense. You need a little spark. You need some first downs. Points would be great. But we got to flip the field position somehow.
Well, it is Silver Lake knocking off Nemaha Central tonight, 25-7. So one of the undefeateds, Nemaha Central, the top team in the state according to K-Preps. This one picked up at the 2-yard line by Gerhardt. Hurdles over one defender before he is upended down near the 13-yard line as Phillipsburg continues to pin Hoisington deep. 10:59 to go in the fourth quarter. Cardinals trail this one 28-6 as they'll start out this drive at their own 13-yard line. And you probably have the correct stats, but if I look at mine, I think they started out at the 11, the 2, the 21, and now the 13.
Well, it's a big deal in football, field position, and with a kicker like that, we're catching the ball at, 10 inside the 10 and back, and they have a great. They're aggressive on their kick coverage with their football team, and as they come down, they really know how to tackle. Very aggressive, very good football team, no doubt about it. Undefeated as they are, but their size and their field position here in the second half starting to wear on this Cardinal football team. We need something to break, something to go. But, as we've fought all year long, 9-10 people in the box, but 9-10 people in the box for the Panthers is a little different animal right now as the Cardinals break it out. 1st and 10 again, backs to the wall at our own 13.
Hoisington hasn't lost a home playoff game since 2008, and a much different look for the Cardinals, down 28-6. Nobody in the backfield for Mason Haxton. Flush down the pocket at the 5-yard line. A stiff arm is going to be wrapped up and dropped down at the 5-yard line. It'll be a loss of 8 yards on the play. And an excellent job by Phillipsburg coming in on the freshman quarterback. And it looked like it was Mark Moon coming on the hit. Nathan Moon, on the blitz from his safety position.
Well, they know, we've done it all year to other teams. Take them out of what they want to do. And Cardinals are a running football team. But right now they've taken us out of our game and also down 28-6 here in the fourth.
Yeah, some confusion right now for the Cardinals, not used to lining up with 4 wide receivers. Here's 2nd and 18. Haxton slips as he gets the snap, and he is just going to be grabbed around the face mask. Nothing called as they hit him around the helmets, and he's hit out of bounds. So Mason Haxton, I think that's kind of one of those run-pass options, the RPOs, if you will. And Haxton is going to lose another yard on this play. It'll be 3rd and 18 now for Hoisington, back at their own 4-yard line.
Well, they're sending everyone. They know we're trying to pass. Our backs to the wall. They're not worried about anything getting by them, so they're just pinning there, bringing it all. And we really haven't had a clean pass attempt tonight. They're in the backfield every time.
Pressure's on Mason Haxton. It'll be a toss play on 3rd and long as Hoisington will break it out over the 5-yard line and down at the 6. I believe it was Rudy Gerhardt, as we'll get to see which one of the Cardinals it was. Instead, it's going to be Wyatt Pettigo. So Pettigo on the pitch. His 5th carry here tonight takes it out to the 6 for a 2-yard gain.
Well, here we are, punter with his back clear almost out of the end zone, 4th and 16. So field position again. The Cardinals just lost the battle of field position. Talented team that has been able to take advantage.
Dante Urban a foot away from the back of the end zone, awaits the snap to punt this one away on 4th and 16. Spiral punt, not bad from the back of his end zone. Hops down at the 35-yard line, takes a Phillipsburg bounce before Jacob Speck will pick it up near the 31-yard line. So another great starting field position here for Phillipsburg. Not sure if they need any more scores, but they'll start out at the 31-yard line with 9:25 to go in the fourth quarter. The Panthers, their state champs 2 years ago, made it to the 3rd round last year, and they're looking to pick up their 2nd win of the playoffs here in 2017. In good position to do so, up 28-6.
Yeah, kind of an average starting position in the second half at the Cardinal 31.
Trey Sides, the talented quarterback, a 3-year starter. Hoisington showing blitz with Wyatt Pettigo and also Eric Barrett right up the middle. Kirk Coombs goes away from that blitz across the 25-yard line and then finally brought down from behind by Eric Barrett and also Jared Curtis. But it'll be a 7-yard gain for Kirk Coombs. All the Panther running backs running a lot better here in the second half.
Now the Cardinals gambled with 2 linebackers blitzing, and the 2 blitzes were in a different hole than the running back was going. So once you get a little crease, there's no linebacker to make contact, so he picked up 7 yards.
Phillipsburg has been so great on the road over the last few years. This one now at the 24-yard line on 2nd and 3. Coombs trying to stretch it out. Hoisington sniffs this one out, but Coombs again breaks a tackle in the backfield and then takes the pile close to the first down marker at the 21-yard line. He'll pick up about 3 yards, very close to a first down for Kurt Coombs. Blake, you mentioned it a number of times as Curtis comes in on the tackle. That's Jared Curtis. He'll be a yard short. Coombs so physical. Looks like you have him wrapped up, and then he just breaks through.
Yeah, you need more than one person to tackle him because he's going to lower his shoulder, keeps his pads low off of that contact, often spins with pads low and gets more yards.
Now 3rd and 1 for the Panthers. They'll go back to that fullback, and John Gower just gouged the defense once again across the 20-yard to pick down. He picks up a couple out at the 19-yard line. Closing in on 8 minutes here in the fourth quarter, a 28-6 lead for Phillipsburg, and they're on the move once again.
1st and 10, got the ball at the 31. They're now inside the 20. 8 minutes left, 28-6. Cardinals down in the 4th.
Tonight's game brought to you by the Hoisington Recreation Commission and Cardinal Lanes. Here's 1st and 10 for Trey Size, the junior quarterback. Short toss goes to Coombs, looking for some blockers, and he'll make his way to the 6-yard line, and then the ball comes out loose. Hoisington falls on top of it, and another Panther trying to pull it away. That was Gross on the carry out to the 15-yard line as he gains 3 yards, and will sort out the mess. Braxton Donovan is down there, and it's Hoisington football. Well, you need a lot of breaks to get back into this one. That's number 1 for Hoisington. They'll get the football back. 2nd turnover of the ball game against the Panthers as Hoisington will have it at their own 17-yard line.
Yeah, but where does it happen again?
Yeah, right.
Field position at the 17, but Cardinal defense not giving up, forcing the fumble and jumping on the ball as Cardinals and Panthers going for it ended up with it. Let's see what happens, looks like we're going to spread them out again.
Yeah, Jake Curtis lined up in the slot right now for Hoisington as Haxton looks to throw a quick hitter through the hands of Xavier Robinson. Has yet to make a catch this year, and that was a hot pass from the freshman. 7:38 to go in our fourth quarter. Hoisington trails it 28-6. This is a 1-point game at halftime with the Panthers of Phillipsburg up 7-6, but all Phillipsburg here in the second half. A Gower 40-yard run, Coombs 31-yard run for the Cardinals as they have it at their own 16-yard line. Haxton directing traffic right now. They still have the 2 wingbacks on this passing down. Throws it out to the sideline, and again it's low for his intended receiver, Rudy Gerhardt, as he can't come up with a catch, setting up Hoisington with 3rd and 10.
Under tremendous pressure, he has to get the ball out quick. He's not rolling out. He's just going straight back and firing it. That time the ball, Gerhardt and Robinson, both timing pattern, which we haven't had a lot of practice in a game like this of pulling that off. And both times, the first time ball was a little high, this time ball a little low.
Hoisington has won a playoff game 4 straight years, but their run might be coming to a close. Haxton looking to throw 3rd and 10. Flag comes out, throws it into double coverage and over the top of Rudy Gerhardt out at midfield. That would have been a big play. There's a flag back out at the 25-yard line.
It's against Phillipsburg.
And it's going to be a defensive holding penalty going against the Phillipsburg Panthers. 7:26 to go in the fourth quarter. Phillipsburg on top 28-6 after scoring 3 scores here in the second half so far. And we see 9 penalties going against Peaburg.
That will give us first down and give us a little better field position. 7:26 left. Cardinals down by 22 in this playoff game against the Panthers.
Phillipsburg has only allowed 12 touchdowns on the entire season. Coming into tonight, only 8 rushing touchdowns. Hoisington has 1 score so far here tonight, down 28-6. 1st and 10, now over the 25-yard line. Throws it out to the near sideline. Xavier Robinson has his first career catch, and a number of flags coming out. 1 on the throw, and then another one coming in on the tackle as John Gower and also Kurt Coombs had the tackle for the Phillipsburg Panthers out the 30-yard line. It's only going to be a gain of about 2 or 3 yards as a face mask penalty going against Phillipsburg, and then 1 going against the Cardinals and offsetting penalties.
Yeah, holding in the backfield as Haxton got the pass away. Holding, face mask on the catch after the tackle or during the tackle. Offsetting penalties gives us 1st and 10. Again, the Cardinals have moved the ball out to the 27 via the penalty, but 1st and 10 Cardinals at the 27 or 28.
It would have been Xavier Robinson's first catch of his career. 2 wide receivers on this 1st and 10 play, still at the 28-yard line for the Cardinals. Haxton has a little bit of time, but overshoots his intended receiver, Gerhardt, across the middle on a flag route. 7:13 to go here in the 4th quarter. 28-6 in favor of the Panthers in the 3rd meeting between Hoisington and Phillipsburg in the playoffs.
Now we had 3 people out. The one person he picked, Haxton, for firing the ball because he's under a lot of pressure in the football game. So he picks someone out and tries to get it to him. Ball was overthrown, double covered down there deep. 7:13 left in the game.
Hoisington back to their typical flex offense, but Gerhardt, a wide receiver on the far hash. Haxton, toss play. Pettigo has to make a man miss in the backfield, but he'll trip him up. Kirk Coombs once again comes in on the initial hit, trips up Wyatt Pettigo. Coombs has 3 sacks on the season, 35 tackles, and he got in from his linebacker blitz and holds Pettigo back to the line of scrimmage. May have lost a half yard.
Yeah, I think he just read the play, and as he saw we weren't passing, recognized what the play was and crashed in. Usually we have someone out there pushing that person either to the inside or outside, but no blocker on the play. He was taken out of the play.
Jake Curtis started down the backfield, and a lot of confusion right now, and I believe Zach Baird will call a timeout. 6:34 to go here in the 4th quarter, 28-6, Phillipsburg on top in our 4th frame, and it was a 1-point game at halftime. Hoisington trailed it 7-6. Sean Urban has the 1 rushing touchdown here tonight. We talked about the defense for the Phillipsburg Panthers, the top scoring defense in Class 3A, only giving up 8.5 points per game through their first 10 contests. 158 yards, 82 on the ground, 76 are their defensive averages. They have 28 sacks so far this year and have forced 28 turnovers, and holding Hoisington to 6 points so far here tonight. You're starting to see why they are the top defense in Class 3A.
Yeah, they've really taken advantage of field position, and you have to give them credit. The Cardinals had just had horrible field position this second half, and it started out in the second half. The very first play, we had a kickoff return set up, and it looked like we had a lot of space, maybe get it out to the 30 or 40, maybe even more, but the receivers slipped and went down, and I think he went down, at the 7-yard line, or because they have a great kicker, kicks it high and deep, and from then on, I don't think the Cardinals in the second half, you read it off a little bit ago, the field position was horrible, and Phillipsburg just jumped all over it and took advantage of it, and has just slowly taken over this football game.
Yeah, 2-yard line, or 11-yard line, 2-yard line, 13 and a 21 have been starting field positions for the Hoisington Cardinals, and then coming off a fumble on this last one. Haxton rolls out on 3rd and 11, and he is going to be shellacked in the backfield. Rolling out, didn't find anybody open, hit out near the 20-yard line. It'll be a loss of 8 yards for Mason Haxton, and 4th and long coming up for the Cardinals, down 28-6 with 6:23 to go.
Yeah, he couldn't find anyone open because he was running for his life. It was kind of an isolation play. We tried to have 3 people out on this side of the field, and the quarterback rolled to the left side of the field with 1 receiver out, but he never had time to look downfield.
Hoisington just 1 for 11 on 3rd down here tonight. Urban punts this one away, his best punt so far here tonight, as it takes a roll inside the 35-yard line, and then Cassidy's down there to pick it up near the 33-yard line. Great punt by Dante Urban, but the Hoisington Cardinals trail this one 28-6 with 6:10 to go in tonight's ball game. Phillipsburg undefeated on the season at 10-0. A lot of people tabbing them as the state champion before the season started. Either them, Silver Lake, or Nemaha Central were the 3 that were in the conversation. And Phillipsburg, they look to be head and shoulders above most of the West teams. We'll see what Conway Springs has in store as they're at home against Heston. That game kicking off at 7 o'clock here in a couple minutes. Trey Sides and the Phillipsburg Panthers offense back out to the field. Here's Kirk Coombs as he works the right side across the 35-yard line and down near the 37 on a 4-yard gain for Kirk Coombs.
This is only the second time in the second half that Phillipsburg has had to run the football on their side of the field after an exchange from a punt or a kickoff. So at least they have to go a long ways, and the big guys really still running hard. You know, when you're up and you feel good, that offensive line really controlling the game.
5:37 to go. Phillipsburg up big here in the fourth quarter. As Sides awaits the snap, gets it. It'll be Gross this time, who had the fumble on that last series for Phillipsburg, and he pushes forward across the 40-yard line, and the pile still continuing to go forward for the Panthers, close to the first down marker. It's going to be close to a 6-yard gain for Traylon Gross, the 6-foot, 200-pound junior. They have so many options. They had 6 players with 30 carries or more and at least 4 touchdowns on the season, and 3 players with 10-plus touchdowns. Gross, one of them, and he gets 6 yards for a first down. 3.
Yeah, to the wall most of the second half, starting to feel that pounding from the big running back and that offensive line. That's one thing I mentioned before the game that I noticed is the way their offensive line really fires out. First half, the Cardinals held their own. Second half, field position, it's really hurt us.
Now 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Hoisington showing blitz up the middle. They'll come with that blitz. They go to Gower, runs away from the blitz to the right side into midfield, and then Sean Urban wraps him up near the 49-yard line. A gain of 6 yards on first down will get into Cardinal territory as John Gower now with 13 carries for a total of 69 yards. Phillipsburg has been talented over the last few years. J.B. Covington and the Phillipsburg Panthers, as they are just making their 12th playoff appearance in school history. As successful as they have been, they really didn't have a whole lot of success until J.B. Covington came around 15 years ago. Here's second and short play. It's going to be Sides on a keep and just falls forward, nowhere to run. Down at the midfield, he loses a yard as Wyatt Pettigo has the tackle. MCL was having MCL, and then Smith Center was going through all their success. Phillipsburg was kind of on the outside. They didn't have much success until about 2002. That was their first school state appearance in the playoffs. And since 2002, they've been rolling for J.B. Covington, now 3rd and 2.
Yeah, he has a lot of excitement up there in Phillipsburg.
The snap comes aside. Short tots goes to Coombs. First down to the 45-yard line. Stiff arm still on his feet to the 40. Down the sideline he goes. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Kirk Coombs, a 50-yard run, his second rushing touchdown of the evening. Hoisington had him bottled up about 5 yards off the scrimmage. Broke a tackle, stiff arm, down the sideline. He's gone. Another touchdown for the Phillipsburg Panthers. 3:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Now on top by a score of 34 to 6.
Yeah, he broke that tackle 5 yards deep in our getting past the line of scrimmage, and then he showed, the big guy shows some speed down the sideline. No one else was there. Cardinal defense totally worn out.
John Honeycutt, who missed a 49-yard field goal attempts in the first half, has been perfect on his PATs as he bangs this one through with 3:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Well, it is Phillipsburg taking control in the second half in a 1-point game at halftime. Now on top 35-6 against the home club, Hoisington.
It's amazing how something as simple as field position can just turn a game around, and you have to give credit where credit is due. A great football team took advantage of it as the Cardinals had their backs to the wall the whole third quarter, and Phillipsburg started pounding and pounding. You could tell, I mean, we could just sense the momentum was just starting to take over behind. And again, I mentioned it, what I think is the biggest part of their football team's their offensive line, and also the big running back. You give him any room, and he just will pound you to death. And this second half, that's just kind of been the story of the football game, taking advantage of field position in a big way. Phillipsburg Panthers look pretty tough to me.
Coombs had 41 yards rushing in the first half, 138 so far here in the second half. 22 carries, 179 yards rushing for Kirk Coombs. The fact he was under 1,000 yards, he was one of the premier running backs coming into this season. He was on the front cover of Kansas Pregame magazine for the Phillipsburg Panthers, but only under 1,000 yards. Like, well, what's going on? But you look at the scores for the Phillipsburg Panthers throughout the season, so many blowouts, they didn't need Coombs running the ball. Now in a little bit tighter game until the second half, he's getting a lot more carries and showing what he can exactly do as Robinson returns this one out to the 23-yard line before he is stopped. 3:44 to go in the fourth quarter. Phillipsburg in control of this playoff game in the second round in Class 3A, on top of the Hoisington Cardinals 35-6.
Yeah, Cardinals, obviously trying everything in their playbook to get something to move right now here in the second half, as Phillipsburg defense really has just shut us down, aided by the field position, but the Cardinal offense just ground to a stop.
At the 23-yard line for Mason Haxton, option play, near sideline. Toss goes out to Sean Urban. He is decked as a flag comes out, as it was John Gower lowering in on Sean Urban as he loses about a half yard, and it's going to be a holding penalty going against the Hoisington Cardinals.
Yeah, nothing seems to work for the Cardinals as they had the option play really covered well. They had the quarterback, and as he pitched the ball, there were two Panthers right on the pitch man and just nailed him as soon as he caught it. But the holding call will negate that. We lost 3 yards on the play. They might just go ahead and decline the penalty and take the down. That's what they did.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. So 2nd and 13. Sean Urban, who has rushed for over 100 yards in each game since week 2, held to 82 yards rushing so far on 18 carries. Here's 2nd and 13. Haxton goes under center, rolls out near sideline, throws it down the sideline intended for Rudy Gerhardt, and is knocked out of bounds by Trey Thompson at midfield. Thompson, a great cornerback for the Phillipsburg Panthers. He leads the team with 6 interceptions and 20 tackles in that secondary for Peaburg.
Yeah, we actually got outside the pocket a little bit, and Mason just threw the ball up before he had to make any decisions down the sideline. The ball was outside of the sideline, so no chance for a completion, and the coverage was right there, as you said, just terrific coverage.
Great crowd on hand this Saturday night, but for Hoisington, it's not going to be a happy Saturday evening or a happy weekend, as they're on the wrong side of the scoreboard as Hoisington runs the football again. Flag comes out after I believe Sean Urban is folded over at the 21-yard line, and Urban rolling over in a little bit of pain, slow to get up, finally able to do so. So Urban in on another carry, and we're going to get a face mask penalty going against the Phillipsburg Panthers. 3:06 to go in our fourth quarter. Urban's run got it to the 21 on a gain of about a yard, but a face mask penalty going against the Panthers. That is one thing that has been kind of ugly for J.B. Covington and his club here tonight. Despite a big lead, 35-6 with 3:06 to go, penalties have been fairly big for the Panthers so far here tonight.
Yeah, but they haven't hurt them.
No, they're still up.
They haven't hurt them. Terrific football team.
Not very many first downs. Back to that flex offense. Pettigo goes in motion, has the toss, cuts it back up to the middle, and then caught around the knees and then dropped near the 43-yard line on about a 6-yard run. About a 3-yard run for a Wyatt Pettigo. And a nice job by the Phillipsburg second level coming in on the hit.
Yeah, just great team pursuit by this Phillipsburg defense. I mean, they really run to the ball well. Cardinals usually out there have a isolation where they just have to block one person, but there's too many people to block.
Here's 2nd and 8 for Hoisington, still in their own territory as they try to stretch it out to Rudy Gerhardt. Breaks one tackle, won't break another one here on the near sideline as he is leveled out at the 43-yard line. A gain of 5 yards, we'll call it a gain of 4 for Rudy Gerhardt, setting up 3rd and 4 now for the Cardinals. 2:17 to go in the fourth quarter. Phillipsburg on their way, getting to sectionals into the 3rd round for the Panthers. They have won 2 or more games in the last 3 years coming into tonight, and they're on their way to make it 4th straight.
Now the Cardinals trying to get a first down here, basically running their offense as they usually do.
They have struggled on 3rd down. Screenplay set up. This looks good. First down to midfield. Gerhardt to the 45, still on his feet, and then finally tiptoes out of bounds as he's pushed that way near the 39-yard line. A good screenplay set up for the Hoisington Cardinals as this one goes for 20 yards out to the Phillipsburg 39.
Mason really threw a nice ball that time. He threw a bullet and Rudy caught it, but he let him. Rudy didn't have to bend down or lean back. He hit him right in stride, and with Rudy's speed was able to get down the sideline for a big gain.
A 20-yard screenplay for Hoisington Cardinals have him set up with 1st and 10 at the Phillipsburg 39-yard line. This time they go back to the fullback as he surges over to the 35-yard line and still pushes that pile a little bit more for another couple of yards, as it looks like Sean Urban he's having a very tough running day here this evening as he takes it out to the 28, as it'll be, the 33, and it'll be a gain of about 6 yards. So they had a nice second surge there by Urban. trying to get over 100 yards.
Nice line search that time. We do have a lot of the starters we have to mention of the Panthers are now on the sideline, and we're seeing the second unit out here.
2nd and 4, Hoisington trails at 35-6. Haxton to throw across the middle, in and out of the hands of Tanner Cassidy as he was well covered by Ty Sides, the freshman, the younger brother of Trey Sides, the starting quarterback. And Ty, he might be the starting quarterback in a couple years as his older brother Trey still has another year left. He's a 3-year starter as a junior as he was the freshman starting quarterback for that state championship team back in 2015.
Wow, he's a heck of a quarterback. That was a great ball thrown by Haxton. Again, he has a lot of zip on the ball, but hit Tanner right in the hands. He would have been hit pretty hard, but hit him right in the hands.
Here's 3rd and 4 for Hoisington at the Phillipsburg 32-yard line. Patient run this time by Gerhardt, and he'll get across near the 25. That'll be a first down run for Rudy Gerhardt. A gain of about 6 yards for Rudy, and for Gerhardt, his longest run so far tonight.
Gives Cardinals a first down. Nice drive against the Panther second unit. We do have one starter out there. I see the big kid, number 71, 6'4", 255-pound sophomore.
Yeah, that secondary is out there for Phillipsburg looking for passing plays by Hoisington. But, yeah, most of the linebackers and D-line replaced as Hoisington will get gobbled up at the 25-yard line on a 1-yard run by Sean Urban. Urban now 20 carries, 89 yards, and he's running out of time to get to the century mark to finish off his senior year with 50 seconds to go.
Clock's running, ticking down, 2nd and 9. The Cardinals having a little bit of a drive coming here. That fine flare pass set them up.
All Panthers in the second half on top, 35-6. Play action for Haxton. Zips it, has a man. Pettigo is deflected. Pettigo is behind him, and he was looking for an end zone. But a nice job. Trey Thompson deflects this one out of the path of Pettigo. Otherwise, would have been 6 points for Hoisington. Great job of that defense. Mentioned they're ball hawks. They want you to throw the ball. They have 28 turnovers. 21 of them are interceptions.
Yeah, he broke on the ball, and Pettigo had some steps. And it was a nicely thrown ball. If he hadn't tipped it, it would have been a touchdown. The only thing you could say is maybe easy to say from up here, throw a little bit farther.
That's an final few plays of tonight's ball game. It'll be an end around and getting chopped down at the knees, I believe, is Wyatt Pettigo at the 23-yard line. Might have been Rudy Gerhardt. And it will be Gerhardt. Final 20 seconds here tonight as Gerhardt picks up a couple of yards. 8 carries, 13 yards for the senior, one of 9 seniors on this Hoisington team, and they'll allow the final 10 seconds to rattle off. A lot of streaks are coming into tonight. Hoisington hasn't lost a home playoff game since 2008 to Beloit. The Phillipsburg Panthers, they have won 20 straight road games, including 5 straight on the road in the playoffs. They haven't lost a road playoff game since 2011, and that streak will continue for the Phillipsburg Panthers. The second best team in the state win this ball game 35-6. Stick around. We'll begin the postgame show brought to you by Dairy Queen in 2 minutes on 7 Eagle Country.
When you think of your future, think Barton. When you think of career training, think Barton. When you think about completing your GED or getting specialized training for your business,